and Leon Searcy.
So they were smelling themselves.
How you like me now?
Here we go. Last day of the SEC Media Days, and here on XL Primetime, it's kind of like the first day of your weekend. Welcome to Thursday, after we had a beautiful night at the Golf Club of Southampton. Cranking, my golf game looked bad early. It looked like I had gone over to play Royal Liverpool and had never picked up a stick, but then got it going, and we did talk a bunch about the Open last night. It started around 1 a.m. this morning, Leon Searcy. As we look at this leaderboard, I'm going to be trying to throw names at you all day, but I'll guarantee you this. There are some names I don't even recognize on this
Chano,
leaderboard.
then at 1 a.m. I was up, and I had no idea it was on because I think JJ said the other day you said you were going to be up at 4 a.m. to watch it.
Yes.
Oh,
I wasn't
the
up at the
televised.
earliest.
Oh,
but, yeah, I was
gotcha.
up at 4. I've been up, and I watched most of the big groups going on. We still got some big names. We got Rory out there. We got Max Homa. We have John Rahm. So still lots of golf left to play.
Yeah, we're going to go through it. And so with our Modelo Yellow, it's going to sound a little like Royal Liverpool. Get ready for your part of this, JJ,
Well-
just so we can have it. You know,
Well,
okay.
There we go.
All right.
Thank God. First time
Yeah,
in a
that
few
was
weeks.
the
We
palate
needed that. We
cleanser.
needed it in our
Yes.
soul, Josie.
Yes.
Get it going. All right, how's everything over there?
We're good. We're chilling. Obviously, the final day of SEC Media Day is a little bit quieter, but this year with the spin because the home team, even though I know Vanderbilt and Clark Lee, the greatest team in America, do call Nashville home. Tennessee, of course, is the home team in this state where we are, and so they just arrived to much fanfare about 10:20 or so, and so they'll be the final team to go through Radio Row and the media circuits. South Carolina among the first here, as was Ole Miss, and our hope is that we will be able to bring you some players from all three of those institutions, as well as the three head coaches at some point in today's program.
Well, we're going to go back. We're going to listen to a little Billy Napier from yesterday, and at least there's a couple of opinions out there that they were not wowed by Billy Napier. I know you'll be shocked to hear that, but they were not wowed by the Florida Gator head coach. So we will get into that a little bit today. But, you know, as we're wrapping this up, has your opinion changed, Leon? Because we'll have more interviews today, but it's still the same old SEC. It's still Georgia, and everyone else is trying to get to the top of what is right now the Bulldog Mountain, and that includes Alabama right now.
Yeah, right now everybody's chasing the fox. You got a bunch of dogs chasing the fox, and Georgia is the fox. Yeah. All right? So, I mean, and rightfully so, two-time national champion. You know, all the fanfare, all the draft picks, you know, all the talent, all the stockpile of 5- and 4-star recruits that they have each and every year. I mean, they're the king of the hill, king of the mountain. And until somebody can knock them off, it's contingent upon us to believe that they're going to win again. They're going to three-peat. Yeah. There's some suitors out there. And college football, I mean, there doesn't seem to be any real parity in college football now over the last, decade, like half a decade. So it's going to always be the powerhouses, Ohio States, Alabama, the Clemsons, and now the Georgias and the Michigans and all that kind of stuff. But Georgia right now is the team to beat, unless somebody proves otherwise.
Matt, did anyone basically wow you enough to think that personnel-wise they've got enough? And we can include Alabama in this conversation because they're trying to figure out who their quarterback is going to be. But they're looking up at Georgia. There's no doubt about that. But anyone else convince you that they have the personnel to do it?
Yeah, I mean, I spoke with Dempsey on the crossover there, and I mean, I'm going with LSU. I think LSU is going to win it. And I'm not the only one. I think there's more people around that are believing that. I still think Georgia will be the media pick to win the SEC, but there's a lot more people that are feeling good about LSU after speaking to Brian Kelly, after speaking to the players, the LSU players here, and I think you're going to get a wide variety, believe it or not, of who people think will win this league. I think Georgia will get votes. I think Alabama will get votes. LSU will get votes, and I would not be shocked at all if Tennessee got votes too.
Well, Leon and I are in that LSU camp right now. We're right there with you, bro.
Yeah, it's getting easier. I can tell you that because they're very good from last year. Okay, they've started to play really well in the last 6-7 weeks of the season, and then you start talking about what they've added in the portal. They got Notre Dame's #1 running back. They've got 4 legit impact defensive players. You've got Jaden Daniels, who's got a year under his belt as the guy. And it's interesting, when we talk with Brian Kelly and Jaden Daniels, if you think about this, guys, both of those guys last year in a short amount of time had to win the locker room, they had to win the job, they had to win the fan base, and they had to win games. That's a lot to ask for guys that are thrown into a meat grinder like that at LSU in a conference like the SEC where it's as soon as you get in, man, you're getting after it.
I just enjoyed the fact that when Hayes Carline and Frank Frangie went to do a little recap on the 1010XL video channels yesterday, they brought up, of course, the Gators. They brought up the program. They brought up Sam Pittman, but no mention of Nick Saban and Alabama. Now, obviously, part of that was we didn't get a chance to speak with anybody besides Dallas Turner yesterday, and so they weren't front of mind. But at the same time, I mean, Matt, when you were walking around here, we talked about it Tuesday after Kirby and the Georgia contingent left. Would Nick seize the moment and try to seize the power back? Do you think he actually did yesterday?
I don't. I think Nick, honestly, after listening to him, I think he's trying to play it down, and then he's got his player, J.C. Latham, the offensive tackle, talking about how they're going to win it all. And Nick came out with that weird quote about how expectations are predetermined for I can't even remember what it was. You remember what it was, Joe?
Well,
expectations are
Leon
predetermined for failure or something
for
like that.
disappointment.
And I'm like, wait,
Some
that
nonsense.
is not Nick Saban.
Yeah, exactly.
Just absolute nonsense. So
Geritol talk.
It's I don't know what it is. It's weird. It's very weird. So I mean I hear that. I watched Tyler Buckner. We all watched him in the Gator Bowl last year.
Yeah.
He threw a pick 6 on the 2-yard line. I mean, he played okay in that game, but he's not a guy playing at that level. He's not going to win big games in this league. He might change. He might be different at Alabama. We'll see. I'm not buying it. And again, Nick made it very clear that the job's wide open, that all three of those guys, Jalen Milroe, Buckner, or Ty Simpson, can win the job. But believe me, if he liked Jalen Milroe or Ty Simpson, they wouldn't have been scrounging around in the spring portal, not the fall portal, the spring portal, looking for a quarterback. Yeah. So I mean, they've got some problems at quarterback right now. There's no doubt about it.
Yeah, and so I can't help but handicap any of these races and look at the security of the quarterback position, and that's why Jaden Daniels and what I think LSU has on the defensive side of the football is a very, very good bet. Georgia, as much as we like Carson Beck, we haven't seen Carson Beck as a full-time starter since he was taking Mandarin to a state championship, and that's been now a number of years. And so I'm rooting for him. I hope he does very well. But they brought Mike Bobo back, who certainly is a guy that was criticized before, but will have a much better handle on what he's doing this go-around, I would think, because of how good the Georgia defense has been, with the way they're bringing in just bulldog after bulldog after bulldog that are on their way to being selected in the first round. So there's still some questions with these other programs. That's why I lean to LSU a little bit more, because I think both sides of the ball are talented, deep, and experienced, and that I do think means something.
Yeah, and I think it's the quarterback, too. At the end of the day, and I say this all the time, at the end of the day, all things being equal, the best quarterback wins the game, typically wins the game. And that's just what it is. And I here's the thing, too, with Jaden Daniels. He's sitting down right next to us. He's still not that big of a guy, man. His shoulders, it's really weird. His shoulders are not that big at all. His legs are not that big at all. But he's just a guy that has figured out how to not take big hits, although he did injure that ankle late in the season last year. He's got a great arm. He's really fast. He's very dangerous. But, again, if they get into a situation where something happens and he does get hurt and he goes down for a game or two, you've got a guy there in Garrett Nussmeier who everyone was expecting to jump into the portal, who Florida would have loved to have jumped into the portal. He's the backup now. You've got a legit SEC starter as your backup. So that's also why I like this team is just in case something happens to Jaden Daniels, you've got another guy right there.
So he's 6'2", and you're saying he's just skinny.
Bro, I can't imagine he's more than 185, 190 pounds. He's not a big guy at all.
Since the text line is asking about it, let's pair a couple things together from SEC Media Days and look ahead to ACC Media Days next week, which Joe C. and Rick Ballou will be at for us, as well as Spielberg. Building off that point, Matt, what happens if Florida State beats LSU week 1 of the season? How does the narrative shift?
I don't know that the narrative – I mean, they can still get to the SEC championship game, can still win the SEC, could still play FSU again in the playoff. If FSU becomes this team that, rolls through the ACC and wins the ACC and gets to the playoff. That game's big for both schools, but I also think it's not a death knell for either school either, because Florida State could lose that game and then go through and roll out and win out and go 11-1, then win the ACC and go 12-1. They can get right back into it. So it's a phenomenal game to start the season with, but I don't think it's going to hurt anybody if, all things being equal, they both continue to roll through the rest of the schedule.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun looking at that game, Leon, because if you're thinking about two teams that are ready to say something to the rest of the college football world, one from the ACC that wants to say they're back, and for that matter, LSU wants to say that they're back too.
Yeah, well, you almost want to play this game first game of the season. It's a blockbuster game, but you want to kind of get it over with. You want to bump heads, and whoever comes out losing is going to – because essentially, like Matt said, could still be the winner because it's a non-conference game. But you want to also win that game because you want to set the bar. You want to send out a message that we're for real. Florida State and LSU. Right now, they're not the perennial favorites to win a national championship, but they're right in that tier. They're not the first tier, but they're in the second tier. But you'll send shockwaves. I think I think it's going to be a close game. I'm not sure. I think LSU's going to win it. But Matt, let me ask you this question: what if either other team blows out the other team in this game against LSU or FSU? I mean, would that send shockwaves through college football?
It certainly would make some people start to think, well, whoever was on the good end of that blowout, I think people are immediately going to start to think, okay, this is a legit contender to knock Georgia from the throne. So be it LSU or be it FSU, I think you immediately start looking at, okay, now we start to see this thing unravel. And look, we all do that. We all do it where it's one game and we overreact because that's just what we do as fans. But certainly when you're talking about two teams with what these two teams have returning and what they've added in the portal, I mean, Florida State's best addition didn't come till late. Keon Coleman is a legit beast at wide receiver for them.
Yeah.
So I think considering what these two added, these are two really talented teams that could be right there at the end playing Georgia for the national championship.
You can add, him to Johnny Wilson, already a huge target.
Yeah.
Of course. That's real. And then obviously Benson coming back in the backfield. There's a lot of good there. Now, we definitely want to dig into it. You all can hit the text line, Designed by Lifetime Enclosures, YouTube. JJ, invite him to interact on YouTube.
This is the Yahoo pop-off chat line. Yahoo!
So you can go to youtube.com, search 1010XL. You'll take a look at the studio. We've got the beautiful new setting in here. And it's me and Leon here, and then it's also me and Matt in Nashville. But we got the new lighting. We've got
Matt's looking to see it.
I got to see you guys in there, man.
There you go.
And we've got like a strobe light. JJ is occasionally going to walk in here and put us kind of in a dance fever mode. And
Leon, if it's possible, you look even sexier.
Yeah.
If it's even possible.
He'll show some different. And we got
100%.
Snoop right here. Can you guys see Snoop? Because
I do see Snoop.
We see Snoop. We see the helmet. It's great.
We're going to give somebody a chance to win the Snoop before he comes to concert in Jacksonville in early August, thanks to Corona. So
man, I didn't think that was possible, but thank you. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
Oh, it'd be, bro.
I would also like the Nooners. I would like the Nooners, especially the YouTube audience, to know it's okay. When I return next week, since I'm off tomorrow and then Monday, Tuesday, we are preparing a new template in which you will be able to see JJ. He is going to have his camera put back up, and so you will have a JJ cam. And it'll be a permanent one, too. We won't have to worry about flipping back and forth. That's the beauty of this new setup we're going to have.
And he's a married man pretty soon, too. So he's already off limits to some of you out there. All right, but
that's a made man, Joe. A made man.
Yeah, he'll be showcased. Now, speaking of bros and potential bromances with JJ, you've already been accused on the text line, Matt, of the bromance, and I'm wondering if it's going to get even worse if Leon and I just kind of piggyback and go down Brian Kelly's way. It says I literally have to change the station every time Matt starts talking about LSU and his bromance, Kelly. Now, we might be gushing over him, too.
Change it. Well, we're not the only people. It's not just me. I mean, it's clearly not just you or Frank Frangi's the same way. Carline's the same way. I mean, the only people that aren't, I would guess, would be this guy and Hacker. So other than that, you know, that's where we are right now.
It could be the same person.
He could be.
Right, it may be the same person.
Not that I want to pivot to the recruiting front, but since we're bringing up a couple of these member institutions, did y'all see Jamie French, the Mandarin wide receiver, announcing his top 5 yesterday? Okay, so this is about 15 hours ago. I'm just seeing it for the first time. Again, he's one of the top wide receivers in the country, not just in the Jacksonville area.
25?
For 25,
Okay.
yes. So he is a junior this year. His top 5 includes Penn State, Notre Dame, Alabama, Ohio State, and Florida State. That is his top 5. Does that surprise you?
One more for the folks. Give it to him again.
Right, so this is Jamie French out of Mandarin, one of the top wide receivers in the class of 2025, so he is a junior. His top 5, which he announced via a video last night, is Penn State, Notre Dame, Alabama, Ohio State, and Florida State.
Yeah, interesting.
I remember I looked at the 247 crystal ball last week, and it had him going to Alabama. Obviously, that could change because it's a top 5. He's still exploring those 5 schools.
Yeah.
But as we reflect upon the week that was here at SEC Media Days and which schools are building momentum, perhaps curious that, the Florida Gators aren't among that conversation for him. I mean, he's got offers from nearly everybody, and Alabama apparently firmly in the mix.
Yeah, I'm not concerned about it at all because Napier signed. I think they have commitments from 5 receivers in this 24 class, and they added how many guys last year? I think 3 or 4. So their receiver room goes from very limited last year to a lot of potential talent this year. Now, does that mean you ignore a 5-star or you wouldn't take him? Of course they take him.
Yeah.
But I would just think that the idea of that room being so crowded might have come into play when he was thinking about where he was going to go.
Yeah, the other half of that is the kid making the decision on where he thinks he best fits. And let's just say you take Wilson and the other superstar that you mentioned up in Tallahassee at the transfer portal, they're moving on by the time he walks in. Now, this is 25, so a lot can change.
I want him to commit to Florida State. I want these guys to stay in state. So I would love to see him go to Florida
100%.
State.
I totally
who
get
knows
that.
what's going to happen.
But
His quarterback is going to Florida State, so that is worth noting.
Yeah, you'd love to see them stay in state, but it's unavoidable that the Ohio States, the Georgias, the Bamas, the Clemsons are always going to find a way to get in here into the state. And then you just threw Marcus Freeman and Notre Dame out as a guy who also, because he's been lauded for his recruiting skills, and that's one of the main reasons they acted so quickly to make sure he stayed.
That's right, and that's the whole thing. If you're Norvell, if you're Napier, if you're Cristobal, you cannot have Alabama and Ohio State and Notre Dame coming in and taking a five-star wide receiver out of Jacksonville, or a 5-star defensive lineman out of Orlando, or a 5-star defensive edge out of South Florida. You can't. This is where these guys got to start drawing the line in the sand. You're not these programs are not coming into the state of Florida and getting the top 30, 50 players, or they're not getting majority of them. They may be able to get 1 or 2. But you're not getting these guys, and until they do that, their program, they're not going to be where they want to be as a program.
Well, the remedy is to start to win more consistently. These kids watch TV. The Floridas and the Miamis of the world, and Florida State, got on the winning ways last year. He's winning 10 games last year. Mm-hmm. Miami and Florida were abysmal last year. These kids watch TV. They don't want to be a part of that. Now they got an opportunity to get back on the train tracks this year. But these kids watch games. They don't want to stay in the state. They would love to stay in the state if you're winning football games. They just got to change the commitment to winning by both programs.
Yeah.
Well, you also got to change the money you're giving them.
That too.
I mean, if it comes to that, that's what you got to do, man.
Absolutely.
Well, based on what has happened with recent recruiting swings, at least in a positive direction for Florida, that money has changed. But then also maybe this young man read that Matt Hayes wrote at Saturday Down South. Gator fans don't want to hear it, but the climb back to contending will take years. Oh, that just hurt Orange and Blue Nation there, Matt Hayes. We will get into that coming up. Plenty more. I've got to talk a little bit about Royal Liverpool in the Open with JJ and I, because we're in a little gamble situation. And so we're taking a look at that leaderboard, and we'll take a look at some of the big storylines that are coming early. An amateur is at the top of the leaderboard, at least tied. He was
the first
earlier.
time you said that, you said it with a D. The second time, right after it, you said it with a T.
No, it's all amateur. Amateur.
I'm going to have JJ replay it because you did. You said it different both times. In a span of 5 seconds, you said it.
It's because I put that little that flex in it on the second one. Amateur. But yeah, we'll tell you who he is because we don't know who he is. All right, we're just going to tell you what they say about him. Coming up, we've got leaderboard updates across the pond. Royal Liverpool in Hoylett.
You're riding in the First Coast Honda Dealer Studios. XL Primetime on 1010XL. This Open Championship update on 1010XL is brought to you by Mr. Sparky of the First Coast and MyBookie.
Westwood One Sports presents this special report on the 151st British Open, sponsored by Fidelity Wealth Management. An amateur shares the lead as the first round hits the home stretch at Hoylake. 22-year-old Christo Lamprecht from South Africa firing a cool 5 under 66 along with Tommy Fleetwood. So Lamprecht has to be surprised, right?
As an amateur, yes it is, but in my own head, no it's not. I think the way I played it, I earned to be on top of the leaderboard as of now. It's not a cocky thing to say. I just personally think I believe in myself, and if you're a competitor, you should be believing that you should be the best standing there.
Oh, he's definitely the tallest standing in the field. Lamprecht is 6'8". Anton Rosner's in the clubhouse at 4 under. That's 1 back. A turbulent round so far for two-time major champion Colin Morikawa. Bogey, birdie, double bogey, birdie to start. He's 1 over through 6. That's 6 off the lead. Rory McIlroy through 7 holes. He's even, 5 back. I'm Ted Emmerich.
Doors take us to summers away or winter adventures and afternoon getaways. Your dedicated Fidelity advisor can help you open those doors by working with you on a comprehensive plan to help you reach your wealth's full potential, because doors were meant to be opened. Visit fidelity.com/wealth. Investment minimum supply. Fidelity Brokerage Services, LLC, member NYSE SIPC.
The new season is here with Training Camp Back Together Weekend, presented by YouTube. And NFL Network is all in as your favorite teams hit the field. From the fans to the rookies and the stars on the move. Get exclusive access across the league all weekend long. Training Camp Back Together Weekend begins July 29th on NFL Network. Additional coverage on NFL Plus, ABC, and ESPN. Go to NFL.com/BackTogetherWeekend for ways to watch. Presented by YouTube, the new exclusive home of NFL Sunday Ticket.
Did you know the 2023 Honda CR-V Hybrid never needs to be plugged in? The onboard system charges the batteries for you. When you think Honda, think hybrid. Good for the environment, great for your budget. Visit your local Honda dealer to experience the CR-V of the future today.
At Cannons of Jacksonville, they know that when you're towing anything, you gotta have products you can rely on. With over 50 years of fabrication expertise, the family at Cannons can repair or install precisely what you need to tow with confidence. Whether it's a heavy-duty hitch, trailer frame, gooseneck, tow bar, or any other towing accessory, Cannons will provide you with unmatched precision and durability. For all your towing needs, visit cannonsofjacks.com, where quality and customer satisfaction collide.
Feeling hot and bothered? Don't quack up. Call Duck Duck Air Conditioning at 904-862-6769. Our licensed and experienced technicians will make your home or office a cool and comfortable oasis.
Duck Duck Air Conditioning, keeping you cool and quacking all summer long.
Hey, I'm Tony from Tony D's Pizza. People ask me all day long, is it the water that makes the difference? Well, yes and no. Even water can't make a good pizza. It's the ingredients, too. The best tomatoes, the best flour, and the best cheese. Oh, and a lot of love. Tony D's New York Pizza, Bay Meadows and 295.
I'm Hacker. Get more Gators on the Gator Bites podcast presented by Southeast Orthopedic Specialists with new episodes every Wednesday. Subscribe and listen by searching for 1010XL Florida Gator Podcast on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, or TuneIn.
Hey everybody, Mike Dempsey here for Pella Windows and Doors. These intense summer storms are a good reminder to visit the Pella showroom on Phillips Highway. Check out Pella's new Hurricane Shield and Defender series. These amazing windows exceed all coastal requirements for storm protection. Seriously, they can withstand the impact of a 2x4 shot out of a cannon at 50 feet per second. You want quality style and protection? Visit PellaJacks.com and the showroom on Phillips Highway right next to Tesla. That's Pella Windows and Doors.
Summer Nights, presented by One-to-One Financial, is an evening affair benefiting Boys and Girls Clubs of Northeast Florida. Saturday, August 26th. Enjoy an evening at the beautiful Glass Factory as you sip premium cocktails. Dance the night away with live swing music from Bold City Classics. Taste delicious dishes from local restaurants and win exciting auction packages. For details and tickets, go to tinyurl.com/2023 Summer Nights.
Denny Thompson here. Are you a home builder looking for a reliable low-voltage partner? Look no further than Tyson Sound and Security. They've been working hard with large and small builders for 15 years. Here's why they are the top choice. They will enhance your home buyer's home experience by offering custom home design appointments, and your budget stays intact while they deliver top quality services. Builders, send your plans over today to bid. Tyson Sound and Security, security and home automation experts.
Men, if you're struggling with erectile dysfunction or PE, the medical providers at Prime Men's Medical Center offer breakthrough treatments that eliminate problems in the bedroom without pain or surgery. Listen to a specialist in men's health.
I'm Dr. Simovitz. Prime Men's Medical Center offers the most advanced treatments to eliminate ED and PE. 98% of men experience instant results on their first office visit. They're even lasting 90 minutes or longer, regardless of age or medical history.
Don't just take our word for it. Call Prime Men's Medical Center now for our limited time offer. Your initial consultation and first treatment are completely free. You'll see instant results right in the office. You'll even get a gift that enhances your performance in the bedroom. All this, worth hundreds of dollars, is free if you call now. 904-664-8217. 904-664-8217. That's 904-664-8217.
Instant Keys. You don't have to go to the dealer. Instant Keys comes to you.
Instant Keys saves the day if you have lost or broken keys. They can program new keys and remotes for nearly every make and model of vehicle at a fraction of the dealership cost. Fast, honest, and reliable locksmith service. Call 722-1111.
Instant Keys. Instant Keys. You don't have to go to the dealer. Instant Keys comes to you.
This is Hayes Carline for Kingfish Pest Control. Look, warmer weather now means mosquito, flea, and tick season is here. These pests are out for blood, but you don't have to let them win. Protect your home and family with Kingfish Pest Control. As a Kingfish customer myself, I know their products are safe for kids and pets. Plus, with a 100% satisfaction guarantee, you can relax knowing your yard is pest-free. Call today, mention the Jags to receive 10% off your initial service. That's Kingfish Pest Control, proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
When you choose J-Dog Junk Removal, you're not just hiring a junk removal service. You're investing in a company that believes in making a lasting impact on the lives of our veterans and our community. J-Dog is dedicated to giving back to our local veteran organizations. They have donated over $50,000 in materials and services, ensuring that these valuable organizations have the resources they need to support our veterans. J-Dog Junk Removal, veteran-owned, veteran-operated.
Sports injuries are a common issue for both adults and children. Dr. George Barry here, and as the specialist in orthopedic care, the team at Barry Orthopedics and Sports Medicine here in Jacksonville provides comprehensive diagnosis and treatment of all types of sports injuries. With additional training in sports medicine and more than 30 years of experience, the team is available to care for your entire family and help you have fun and stay active. Visit us today at BarryOrthopedics.com.
And don't forget to check out Breaking Bones Sunday morning, 7:30 on 1010XL.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, the official personal injury law firm of the Jaguars, protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. It's where football season starts. All-weather contractors, SEC Media Days, presented by South State Bank. This segment is brought to you by Bueller Air Conditioning, Southern Steer Butcher, and Underwood Jewelers on 1010XL.
So not only did Matt Hayes write the piece that said Gator fans don't want to hear it, but the climb back to contending will take years. Meanwhile, there was another piece penned coming out of Nashville, and this is from the Mississippi Clarion Ledger, okay? Yes, named Stefan Krajiznik. Bless you.
God bless. I was going to say the same.
Bless you. And he said there were winners and losers so far at the SEC Media Days, and Billy fell in which category, would you say, Leon?
The L.
Yeah, he fell in the L category. Here's what he wrote. For as thrilling as Arkansas head coach Sam Pittman was on stage, Napier was the opposite. From the prolonged opening statement to the coach speak-filled answers, there was little enthusiasm or humor from Napier. My question is, has this guy, did he follow the SEC last year? Did he know a little bit about Billy last year?
Well, maybe we thought Billy over the off season had a few, better stories, or maybe came up with good joke, something like that. But no, we didn't see that. All business Billy.
And then drilling shot, something to get him going.
Yeah.
Something to get him going.
He goes on to say it's representative.
ABB.
All business Billy.
All business Billy.
It's representative of the energy surrounding the Gators heading into his second year at the helm.
Interesting.
So Yeah, at least he's getting panned a little bit there in Nashville.
If he keeps recruiting the way he is, who cares what he sounds like, honestly.
You're getting ready to hear him, okay? So we're going to replay the interview from yesterday. Yeah. He's a little ticked off. I think you can tell he's a little ticked off with the idea that, Florida's going to win 5 games or Florida's not going to be whatever he thinks they are. He's got a little chip on his shoulder, and I think the players do too from talking to them yesterday. So, look, at the end of the day, he's got to win games. He's crushing on in recruiting right now. They got to win games. Mm-hmm. They got to get better at the quarterback spot, and they got to win games. And you're not going to get better unless you have a good quarterback. So it's going to take time. They've got to get better on the lines of scrimmage too. So it's not happening this year. It could happen. The start of it could happen next year, but I think it's really going to hit. In 2025, it will really hit when you've got a second-year player at the quarterback spot, and you've got 3 straight top 5, top 10 recruiting classes where you've got guys on the lines of scrimmage that can line up and trade blows with the elite of the league. Then you're going to start to see this program turn.
So again, I ask, Matt, sorry to cut you off, Joe. Mm-hmm. Again, I ask because we've popped on a couple other radio programs here on Radio Row this week, and they have asked, does Billy Napier get to 2025? Does he have that luxury if they only win 5 games this year, if they struggle next year?
Well, I don't think Florida wants anything to do with getting rid of him. So the hope is he continues to show progress. I don't think that the Florida administration wants to get rid of him. Certainly there will be fans. Like if they go 5-7 this year, there's going to be some upset fans. And the reality is you got to have patience. And I made this. I was talking with Frank about this last night, and when we were well after his program is
breaking bread, fellowship.
Right. So the thing with Billy Napier is, look, he's a lot like Will Muschamp in the fact that he recruits really well. He just hasn't figured out the quarterback yet. So if he can figure out the quarterback, I think you got a really good chance of good things happening. Will was right there. I mean, right there, just so close. He just could not get a quarterback. He was close with Will Greer, actually, and then Will Greer hurt his back as a true freshman and had a red shirt. So I think he's got to get a quarterback. He's got to get consistency from that position. If he does, they're in good shape.
Yeah, and I love your quote as you started off your story from Billy Napier. I have enough grass to mow right now. And as you said, that he came in a little angry, he's basically telling everyone to get off his lawn. So we'll find out whether he can get it done. All right, so here's
what he's saying is the grass is really high and I got enough to mow. In other words, he's got a hell of a lot of work to do. That's what he's trying to say.
And get off.
And he also said, though, too, that everyone else doesn't see what he sees. Verbatim was a quote that you're about to hear here on 1010XL. And you heard yesterday if you heard it live on the Frangie Show. He verbatim said, other people don't see what I see in this program. And whether that comes back to bite him, a la the I got it right this time, hire with the Jaguars, or if he proves to come to fruition, that remains to be seen.
Is it right? At this point right now, I 100% agree with him. 100% agree with him. Here's the conversation right here on 1010XL 925 FM.
Billy Napier, the Florida coach, has joined us now, and talk a little Gator football, and then a whole lot more. Great to see you. How are you?
I'm outstanding, guys. I appreciate the opportunity to be on here.
We appreciate you stopping by. These things tend to be a whirlwind, don't they? A little bit.
It's really a cool day. I think it's a reminder. It's right around the corner, and coming off of a break, obviously. But no, we're I think a much better place. I feel really good about year 2 and excited to get to work with this team.
Bill, you had a lot to build at this play. We know that, from facilities to the culture, and the last thing that comes is the roster. And we all know that's how it works. How do you feel about going into year 2, where all that rebuilding is? Are you comfortable? Is it where you wanted it to be?
I think ultimately for me, we have completely rebuilt the player experience. Okay. And I think that we've hired really well. I think that's an extremely important part of what we do. And we are improving. The analogy I'm using is, it's one thing for the student to be learning the material for the second time. It's another thing for the teacher to be teaching the material for the second time, right? So there's a compound effect of year 2. But I love what I see. And people, the outside is not in our building. They don't know our players. They're not observing what we've done since January. So it's a lot of fun. I think you almost trade a year of your life away when you take on one of these challenges.
Yeah.
You know, and so to kind of feel like, man, my chin's finally getting above the water here.
I get it.
You've got systems built. I think there's some sustainability and repeatability, a lot of adjustment and a lot of things to correct. But overall, I'm really excited.
Bill, you were really careful where you were going when you were at Lafayette. Like, you had multiple opportunities. Knowing this situation, knowing the three guys prior to you couldn't live up to what was there,
right.
and knowing the build-out that you had,
yeah.
How do you preach, okay, look, it's going to take some time. This is not an overnight thing.
Well, we knew what we were getting into. You know, we did extensive research going into the job. And to be quite honest, one of the reasons that we took the job was I think we felt like we understood why Florida had slid. You know, and I think we had a great arrangement with the administration. The facilities were being built. There was a commitment to create this infrastructure and modernize the approach with the staff. And, you know, I grew up when the Gators were dominating college football, right? The Gators, I remember my middle school, high school days was Coach Spurrier. And then when I was a young coach at Clemson, Urban Meyer won 2 national championships, right? But we're 15 years removed from that.
Right.
And I think I'm excited about, hey, look, we've improved our experience. We've got a great product. People care about this place. And, you know, I think we're hitting it just right. I mean, the 12-team playoff starts in 24. That changes the game relative to the path to winning a championship. So it's not easy, but, I mean, we knew what we signed up for when we took the job.
So you almost think you're on schedule now because, like you said, the playoff's there. You got another year here. The next year, when the playoff hits.
All I'm consumed with getting better, right? Like, what can we do better, you know, relative to our processes in-house, the approach we take throughout the year. And, yeah, I mean, I've got a ton of confidence in the people we've hired, and I'm excited about the administration, their belief in what we do, how we do it. It's a great place.
Billy, I've watched Florida my whole life. We know the program really well. Last year, and this had nothing to do with you, Florida did not have defensive talent, maybe as bad as I've ever seen.
Right.
Now, you had a really good recruiting year last year. Now T.J. Searcy and Kelby Collins and Will Norman and more Florida SEC-type players are there. You're having an enormous year this year in recruiting.
Right.
But for this team now, you got Banks transferred in. You got Jackson transferred in. How much closer is this defensive talent to what Florida has seen?
You know, I'm excited about some of the new pieces we've added. We're going to be young, like in our 2 deep. There's going to be true freshmen that are out there playing.
Yeah.
You know, there's going to be some growing pains that come with that. But we got a lot of players that are in year 2, and I think we have a lot of players that are very capable of making an impact at this level. I don't think people quite know what I know yet. So we're going to have some young ones out there playing, safety in particular.
Yeah.
The second player at a lot of spots could be a true freshman on the edges.
Yes.
Those guys will be a factor in the secondary. I'm excited about the 2 corners, Moten, the young corners. I love the front 7. I think we did good work in the portal, height, length.
Yeah.
Cam Jackson and Caleb Banks, you'll find it will be hard for you to find 2 more impactful defensive linemen in the country, in my opinion.
Yeah, they're big guys, too.
They are. They're athletes, too.
You were a quarterback. You've coached the position forever. You've called plays forever. It's in your blood. So the position now at Florida, you know how important it is. It's everything. Where are you right now, the position in Florida, and where do you see the position developing in the future?
You know, I like, obviously this offseason we added Graham Mertz. I'm excited about him. 32 starts at Wisconsin. You know, I mean, that is, you're in the spotlight. You know, he's been through some of these things that go with playing quarterback at this level. He's played over 2,000 snaps, and when given opportunity, I thought he played at a really high level. Now, you meet Grant Mertz, that's what you get excited about. You meet the person, the leader, the worker. very disciplined. He's done a great job being intentional about connecting with his teammates. Very much a professional. I think this guy's one of the best quarterbacks in the country coming out. Like, if this guy was committed to us right now, he's the number 3 quarterback in America.
Yeah.
We'd be excited about him. And we got him, and he's got 32 starts of experience. So I think he's in great position going into training camp with the competition. I've been really impressed with the way Jack has responded. It's made him better because here comes Graham Mertz on a mission. Graham's almost on like kind of a new lease on life, so it's fun to watch, and I would say Graham's going to make our team better.
Yeah, he and Kingsley and Ricky just stopped by and raved about what you just said, how he connected with everybody, not just played, practiced over, he went and connected, because connecting matters, man.
No doubt.
In your culture, it really does. Is it an even competition? Are they close? I mean, I would think Mertz is ahead, but is he or no?
Well, I think we've been kind of dividing the reps up this summer in OTAs, and we'll see the work, Early on, we'll make a decision. And I think we may go to the first scrimmage, which is practice number 9, get through that first layer of installation. For the most part, with the way we practice in 2 spots, I mean, all those guys get a ton of reps, right? So it's healthy for them, too, because we're getting reps. We're rolling players through. We're playing different lineups. I mean, there's not a ton of difference between running with the first and second team to some degree.
Does it help? Obviously it does help, but how much does it help? You got a veteran guy like him, you got one talented receivers, but Mizell and Trey Wilson and Andy Jean, they're young guys now.
Yeah.
Does it help having an older guy play quarterback with those young guys?
No doubt, and even more importantly, in that receiver room, to have a guy like Ricky Pearsall, who's a consummate pro, very disciplined, relentless worker. I've coached some great receivers. Ricky Pearsall is a heck of a player, and we're going to be very intentional about using him this year. And we're going to have the receiver room is kind of like we were just talking about on defense. We need that young talent to feel the urgency that comes with game day, and then grow as the season goes. They don't know until they actually experience it, right? So. They're going to have to earn it, but I imagine that those young receivers will have an opportunity to impact their team.
You're more dangerous out there, right, than you were last year. Like last year, it was almost predictable once you got past the first couple guys. Now it's.
I think that we're going to need some of these guys. There's going to be players that have roles. I like Caleb Douglas. I like the way he's emerged. He played as a true freshman last year. There was a run there where he made some plays for the Gators.
Against Vandy, yeah.
Made some against South Carolina, made some against A&M.
Yeah.
So I think any of these young players, that was their first experience. They get so much better in year 2 because they know what it's like now. They train the entire year getting ready. Yeah. And there's some growing pains with some of the true freshmen, but the portal players, the returning veteran players, it's healthy. I like our team. It's fun to go to work and have a team you like to be around.
Yeah. And that's part of the culture, right? I mean, you got to build that, and I get the sense that's built there. I mean, I just getting to know you, watching the guys, talking to the guys. And by the way, you get 2 NFL running backs. That's got to help too, doesn't it?
Right. No doubt.
Yeah. And so
it's a good place to start.
Yeah. You're calling plays. Are you tempted to run more? You want balance, I know that, but I mean, those 2 running backs are like really good. Is it tempted to lean there?
A lot of what we do, man, the ball gets distributed based off what the defense gives us. Nowadays every run play that you call has perimeter tags and run pass options. And so we need to be efficient and distribute the ball. We need to feature the playmakers that we have. And there's ways to be intentional about getting a receiver the ball. There's ways to be intentional about getting a running back the ball. I do think our tight end group is kind of like safety. There's going to be young players playing. These guys will earn it. They'll prove they're some of our better skill players, and then we'll design every plan around that group.
Hey, Billy, before we let you go, the buy-in. You always talk about the buy-in. Do you see it in their eyes now? Because you always talk about we got a lot of grass to mow, but you can see it, right?
Yeah, I like our team. I like being around our team. No team's perfect. Every one of these coaches that show up here, they, behind closed doors, they got their issues. I can promise you. But I think we have less issues than we had last year. Let me put it that way.
Right.
So we're it's going to be a fun team to coach. And I kind of tried to say that earlier. I'm proud of this group. It's kind of a renewed sense of accountability starting in January. Nobody's got much good to say about them, so I think they're excited to get out there and prove it.
Well, that was my last question for you, and I asked all three players. Florida does not have the expectations here that it typically has had. I got to believe if I'm a young guy, that's a chip on my shoulder, and I'm chomping at the bit. Is that what you kind of just said it? Is that what you're saying?
These guys are very aware. There's no trick in the players, They also look around there and they say, why can't we be good? I think that's kind of, I tried to say it earlier, we're not going to allow anyone's outside opinion or created narrative to define the reality of this team. Right? We're going to go earn it, and I think ultimately that will prove to be an advantage for us early, and then when we have some success, can we handle it? Last year, every time we had some success,
that's
right.
We beat Utah, we get beat by Kentucky. We beat Missouri, we get beat by LSU. We beat A&M, South Carolina, we get beat by Vanderbilt. Right, so that's been a big emphasis with our sports psychology people this summer. So handling not only failure but success and having the ability to create some consistency and have that reset. We got a mature group that I think will convey that message to the team when that time comes.
Billy Napier, the Florida coach. Thanks for spending some time, man. It's great to see you.
Great to see you.
Good luck
guys,
this season.
Man.
Thanks,
Thank
Billy.
you. All right, guys. Thank you all.
Okay, so Leon, your thoughts on Billy? He does sound a little ticked off as far as trying to.
Yeah, he does. I mean, he's a very detailed man. I mean, he's quite quaint when he talks about his team and what he sees there. He's seen improvement. He's seen the guys a little bit more dedicated to what they need to, as far as exerting themselves on the field, off the field, that kind of stuff. But the idea that, he's a little ticked off. He's a little mad because the bar has been lowered. The expectations, you know what? They're like the late date to prom. Okay, no one cares. And the prom is going on. No one cares right now. So Florida and the players are walking around. They can sense that. The Alabamas of the world, the Georgias of the world, the Tennessees, they're getting all the love and the fanfare and paying attention to cameras and all that kind of stuff. Florida's just kind of floating around. But it doesn't mean anything unless you do something about it.
Right.
You can be mad all you want.
Yeah.
You can be upset. You can be ticked, have a chip on your shoulder. But this game is about winning football games. How are you going to exert all that energy that you have right now about being disrespected and overlooked on games on Saturday? Right. That's all that matters. If your team is ticked off and mad and all that, make sure you use that energy and exert yourself on Saturdays and play the way you're ticked and mad at.
Yeah, you hit the nail on the head. Give them a reason to make them think they're right, or give them a reason to prove that they're wrong.
Absolutely.
And that's it. So you hit the nail on the head. We head into the 1 o'clock hour, leaderboard updates throughout the afternoon, opening round of the Open. As we take a look at that leaderboard, we'll get back into that. Brian Kelly a little bit later on. And then the last go-around, I'm telling you, I looked at Lane Kiffin up on the podium. I think he went to Paul Mitchell Salon School over the offseason. Like, Nick went to Italy. I think he went to the Paul Mitchell styling salon. I've got to get into that coming up. It's XL Primetime on a Thursday. We'll head back up to Nash Vegas coming up.
The First Coast Honda Dealer Studios on 1010XL. This Open Championship update on 1010XL is brought to you by Mr. Sparky of the First Coast and MyBookie.
Westwood One Sports presents this special report on the 151st British Open, sponsored by Grainger. With supplies and solutions for every industry, Grainger has the right product for you. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Tommy Fleetwood and amateur Christo Lamprecht finished strong in the first round. Both have their hands on the lead, 5 under 66. Fleetwood had 3 straight birdies at 14, 15, and 16. Lamprecht birdied 3 of the last 5 in his Open debut. Frenchman Antoine Rosner with a 467. He's 1 back. Wyndham Clark, coming off a win at the U.S. Open last month, is 3 under, 2 back. World number 1 Scotty Scheffler and 5-time major champion Brooks Koepka among those at 1 under, 4 off the lead. Rory McIlroy missed a par putt from 2 feet at 8. He is scuffling today, 1 over as he makes the turn. McIlroy does have a 20-foot putt for birdie at 10, though. I'm Ted Emmerich, Westwood One Sports.
At Grainger, we're for the ones who pay attention to every little detail. The ones who fuss, tinker, and sweat the small stuff. Because you know the tiniest thing can make the biggest difference when it comes to keeping business moving. We get it. We're the same way, offering access to product experts to help you quickly and easily find what you need. So whatever your industry, you know you're always getting professional-grade products. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Right now at Wendy's, when you buy either Dave's Single, Spicy Chicken Sandwich, Medium Frosty, or 10-piece nuggets, you can get another for just $1. Your dollar never tasted so good. So it's obvious what everyone will get, right?
Definitely nugs
Spicy
and a
chicken
Frosty.
sandwich,
Dave's Single and a Frosty for me.
and a Frosty. Okay, who said Frosty and a Frosty? Pick your obvious choice. Choose wisely. Choose Wendy's, buy one, get one for $1.
Limited time only. Price of participation may vary. U.S. Wendy's, valid for item of equal or lesser value. Cannot be combined in a combo or any other offer.
Join the Transportation Club of Jacksonville for a great cause at the CSP 23 Charity Golf Tournament. Hosted by local professional A.J. Crouch, it benefits the Monique Burr Foundation for Children. Register at tcjacks.com. Live scoring by Leaderboard King.
Does your vehicle have over 75,000 miles? Get maximum high-mileage engine protection with Syntec Full Synthetic High Mileage Motor Oil exclusively at O'Reilly Auto Parts. Right now, get 5 quarts of Syntec High Mileage and a MicroGuard Select Oil Filter for just $34.99. Limit supply. Ask for Syntec High Mileage at O'Reilly Auto Parts.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
The Internal Revenue Service is reported to be receiving $80 billion in additional funding for the 2022 tax year for unpaid tax enforcement. There has never been a budget increase this large in the history of the IRS. All of this funding is for more revenue officers and collecting delinquent taxes. If you owe the IRS, you have a short time to get your tax issues resolved or face financial devastation. J. David Tax Law is right here in Jacksonville and provides tax relief for all personal payroll and sales tax problems. They've achieved thousands of successful outcomes for their clients, and that's why their reputation speaks for itself. If you have federal or state sales tax debt, do your research to see why J. David Tax Law is the most effective option to relieve your tax burden. Call J. David Tax Law at 904-507-4777. That's 904-507-4777 or at jdavidtaxlaw.com.
David Garrard here. Playing in the NFL can put a lot of wear and tear on your body, especially your knees. Southeast Orthopedic Specialist has kept me mobile and ready to tackle every day.
Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
David Garrard here. I've had the PRP treatment from Southeast Orthopedic Specialists, and my knees are really doing well. Platelet-rich plasma treatment may be the answer for whatever is hurting you.
Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
Boating is in your blood. You live for your time on the water and can't wait for your next adventure. At Batteries Plus, we have solutions to help power what moves you. Whether it's a deep cycle battery for your trolling motor or an onboard charger to make the day last a little longer, you'll find it at Batteries Plus. Shop boating essentials at your nearest Batteries Plus or visit us online at batteriesplus.com.
When getting the job done right is job one, you need construction equipment that's built right. From compact track loaders to the world's #1 selling compact excavator, the Kubota construction lineup features durable Kubota engines, more comfort, and the versatility to do it all and do it right. Visit Coastal Equipment today and go to KubotaUSA.com for full disclaimer.
Coastal Equipment.
Coastal Equipment on New Kings Road and in McClenny.
WJXL AM Jacksonville Beach, WJXL FM Jacksonville Beach.
Hey, Matt Hayes here. Expert Automotive is now open at our brand new state-of-the-art facility on St. John's Bluff Road. As always, every repair comes with a lifetime service repair warranty. Come celebrate our grand reopening by getting a free AC inspection, $50 off any repair, $199 brake specials, and free diagnostics all month long. Call 374-3373 or visit us at our new location at 2190 St. John's Bluff Road. Expert Automotive. We never sell greed, only what you need.
Oh boy, not again.
Do you feel this way every time there's rain in the forecast? Amy Salt, owner of CrossFit Salt to Tear in the Riverside area, definitely did.
I had major rain anxiety from all the water collecting outside my gym. That's why I'm so happy I reached out to Clearwater Drainage. John came out, designed a system that moved the water off of my property, and all my kettlebells are now dry. I'm sleeping so much better at night.
Clearwater Irrigation.
And drainage, too.
ClearwaterJacks.com.
Are you looking to make a move? Whether you're buying your first home or your forever home, at Ameris Bank, we'll help you get the keys in your hand. Our local mortgage bankers will guide you through the process, from choosing the right loan to closing on your new home, and everything in between. We even offer down payment and closing cost assistance to eligible first-time homebuyers. Visit amerisbank.com/mortgage to learn more and find a mortgage banker near you. Ameris Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender. All loans subject to credit approval.
How many furlongs are there in a mile? The answer next.
With hurricane season now here, the only weather you need to be concerned about is whether your homeowner's insurance policy will cover you in the event of storm damage. Ask about Southern Oak Insurance today.
Our family protecting yours. Southern Oak Insurance.
There are 8 furlongs to a mile, and each furlong 660 feet, totaling 5,280 feet.
Southern Oak Insurance. Our family protecting yours. Registration is now open for the Greater Jacksonville Kingfish Tournament. Over $400,000 in cash and prizes, with payouts up to 20 places. Of course, there's awesome prizes for lady anglers. And bring along your junior anglers. Anyone can get in on the fun. Register today at kingfishtournament.com. Even if you're not in the water, you'll enjoy exhibits, food, kids' activities, and a fireworks display at the Greater Jacksonville Kingfish Tournament.
This is your Southeast Orthopedic Specialist local sports update brought to you by YMCA. I'm Taylor Dahl for 1010XL. SEC Media Days continued yesterday with Alabama and Florida. Coach Billy Napier and the Gators have been hot on the recruiting trail the last couple of months for 2024, but people do have some questions surrounding this upcoming season. Napier joined the Frangie Show and shared thoughts on being on schedule.
I'm consumed with getting better, right? Like, what can we do better, relative to our processes in-house, the approach we take throughout the year. And I've got a ton of confidence in the people we've hired, and I'm excited about the administration, their belief in what we do, how we do it.
Visit 1010XL.com for more from Coach Billy Napier. It's 92 degrees at 101. Time and temp are brought to you by Bueller Air Conditioning. Stay cooler with Bueller.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, the official personal injury law firm of the Jaguars, protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555, Jacksonville. This is SEC College Football. All-weather contractors SEC Media Days, presented by South State Bank. This segment is brought to you by Hastings Injury Law Firm, Coastal Equipment, and Bueller Air Conditioning on 1010XL.
1 o'clock hour cranking right here on a beautiful Thursday on the First Coast. Joe C., Big Leon Searcy sitting here in Duval while Mia O'Brien and Matt Hayes are up in Nash, Vegas. Last day of the SEC Media Days, but we got plenty more coming your way. We had the conversation that Frank and Matt had with Billy Napier yesterday. And as you said earlier, Mia, we're talking about a young defensive coordinator on the defensive side for Florida that's ready to make his name known. But he's still just like they're still wiping like boogers off of his nose. He's so young.
Do we have the birthday music ready, JJ?
Yeah.
Yeah, let's get the birthday music queued up because we have a very, very special birthday today, and that is the defensive coordinator of your Florida Gators, Austin Armstrong. In my grade, we were in the same grade, class of 2015, 30 years young today. So officially out of his 20s. Welcome to your 30s, Austin. I'll tell you this, the back pain is real. They tell you it's going to happen. It actually will happen once you turn 30. I didn't believe them September of last year. They weren't kidding. Hopefully it's not your back hurting from carrying a Florida offense through the 2023 season.
Back pain at 30?
If it is.
Come on, bro.
Just go to Yas.
He still got Similac on his breath. 30 years old, back pain. No back pain at 30. Try to be 53.
I do like the potential of this young guy. You can go back, Matt. You can think of a handful of guys, and once they got kind of the feel and got their mitts on defenses, their name was quickly known. I'll just throw Brent Venables out there as one of the guys that very early, and you can name a handful of other ones. I like what I see so far from him.
I'm going to reserve on it.
Mm-hmm, that's
I'm
fine.
Gonna reserve on
I'm
it.
reserving on Billy, so I'm with you.
Right, only because, it's and you can say this, and people don't believe, but it's real. There's a difference when you're coordinating a defense at a Group of 5 school than when you're coordinating it in the SEC, because it's you can say it's apples and apples, but it's not. It's not. Things you can do at that level because you don't have to worry about somebody getting behind you as much as you do at a Power 5 school, especially in the SEC. It's different. And I don't know that they can be as aggressive as he was at Southern Miss. It's a funny thing is Arkansas. Sam Pittman was on our show yesterday. He was talking about Travis Robinson, his new defensive coordinator. And he said, he wants to go all the time. He wants to go zero blitz all the time. He said, I had to step in and tell him, look, in this league, guys get behind you. When they get behind you, the band strikes up. So I think you're going to have to find some common ground on we need to get pressure, and if we can't get it because we don't have the personnel off the edge that can do it alone, it's not unlike any situation in defense, but it's different with different athletes. If we can't get it with the guys off the edge, we're going to have to help them by bringing more guys. Mm-hmm. But are we able to put our corners in that situation? That's the question. And I think obviously with Marshall they can. On the other side, I don't know yet. I just don't know.
That's what it boils down to, is just trying to figure out whether they've got enough Jimmies and Joes to match up with those concepts, Leon, that we're talking about. And yeah, he's going to have to deal with the speed
they may have real. They may have two freshman safeties, Joe, and they may have a freshman at the other corner too.
And then also, what was that he said about a true freshman starting at edge?
Yeah, so it's Kelly Collins definitely is.
That's a big boy position, and you have a true freshman starting.
Yeah, but that's one of the only guys they've got that can give him that, other than Princely, that can give him that presence off the edge.
Well, he seems to be a young, energetic, guy, and he's in the SEC, and he's just going to have to learn patience, especially if they're limited personnel-wise. Because one thing I know about DCs at college and professionally, if they realize they're limited in personnel, they somehow got to get pressure somehow.
Yep.
So they've got to take gambles, and in those gambles, you hope that you hit more than you miss.
Yep.
Because if you don't have guys that can get home, you're putting the burden on corners to cover a lot longer. So he's got to just know when to hold them and know when to fold them.
Right, exactly right. And that's what I meant by, you can be aggressive and you can go zero blitz all the time at the Group of 5 level, because it's not just that you have less guys with the ability to get behind you, but the quarterbacks aren't as accurate either. Mm-hmm. So you can do that. And at this level, you're going to die if you do that all the time.
Well, the other thing is that what Billy said to you and Frank was that he's seeing something inside the building. He hears the noise outside the building. And the one thing that has to at least be pointed out again and again and again to impatient Gator fans is that of the players that you saw last year that had potential, that had talent, Recruit and Trevor Etienne, exiting star that you didn't get enough out of, and Anthony Richardson, and then a couple of the other guys that stood out came from Louisiana with Billy. And so he brought – who were the top 5 players in Gainesville last year? He probably brought 2 of the top 5
at least
on
2
that
of the
team.
top 5. Yeah.
The top 2 were from
Louisiana Lafayette.
Yeah. You could easily say that Torrance and Johnson were the 2 best players on that team last year, and throw Etienne in there as well. Other than that, it's obviously Anthony Richardson, when he played well, was the best player on that team, but way too uneven, way too many mistakes. I just cannot get this. I cannot get the visual of Jonathan Odom looking up and the ball going 15 feet over his head. I just can't get that out of my head.
If you want to get rid of that visual, go back and watch the throw against Vandy. Same situation. Last play of the game. They can tie it up. See it. And it's the exact same thing, Matty.
I actually think what Billy Napier's point, that I thought his best point, was we never learned how to win. You beat Utah, you lose to Kentucky. You play poorly against USF. Mm-hmm. You beat Texas A&M. You beat South Carolina. You got a chance to go on a little bit of a roll. You go to Vandy, the worst team in the league, and you lose. And that game wasn't close, honestly. I mean, they had a chance to throw it in the end zone in the last play of the game, but that game wasn't close. They lost to Vandy. That should never happen. Mm-hmm. So I think you win, if you win that game, then you get a little momentum. If you win that game and you're all of a sudden at 3 in a row, and then you roll into Florida State, maybe you don't give up those 2 long scrambles by Jordan Travis. Maybe you figure out a way to win that game. Mm-hmm. Then you're looking at a completely different team. Then you're at 8 wins. Then you're really starting to pick up momentum, not only on the field but off the field in recruiting. Then you might have a chance where Michael Pratt says, "Wait a second, 8 wins they won." Maybe, and then if you somehow win that bowl game, then you're at 9 wins, Joe. Okay,
right.
So then Michael Pratt sees that and says, "Oh hell yeah, I'm playing in Florida, no doubt about it." Exactly. But if you're sitting there at 6 and you lose 30-3 in the Las Vegas Bowl, and you look just terrible doing it, nobody wants to come quarterback that team.
No.
I mean, he can say all he wants. They looked at 24 guys, but at the end of the day, these guys. I keep telling you guys this: the money is very similar, and at the end of the day, these guys are going where it's not only the money, but they feel like they can win and they can be developed.
Okay, so
and if you look at what happened there's questions.
I'm going to ask the dumbest question that everyone else out there may already have the answer to it, but I think it has not been answered yet. If it looks ugly, and it does, why is he getting a lot of yeses, and will they be true yeses when it comes to recruiting? Because if he's losing these, like you're talking about, the potential of a big-time quarterback coming to Gainesville and saying, hey, I can walk right in. This is a bad situation. I can make it, 1,000 times better and get all the credit for it. How is he getting yeses when it comes to commitments, but he's not getting yeses when it comes to those types of players?
Well, he got one with DJ Lagway, okay?
Yep.
He had one with Jaden Rashada, and the kid just flaked out.
Yeah.
The kid just flaked out, okay? That's just he had Michael Pratt, and at the 11th hour, it blew up. So it's not like he's not there. And again, if the quarterback is the specific position, you can still recruit really well in other areas and not at the quarterback. I mean, Muschamp, even when he was struggling in the last 2 years, was killing it in recruiting. So some guys just really recruit well, which he does. He's a lot like Muschamp in that way. He's a great recruiter, and I think that's where he is. He's got to get the quarterback. And again, this is not unique to Florida. If you don't have a quarterback, I don't care who you are, it's going to be a struggle to win big games.
So I want to touch on something else that Billy Napier said. And is it simply, Matt, when he referenced working more with a sports psychologist, becoming more resilient, being able to bounce back, and that's where they're better this year than they were last year? Because more than once during that interview with you and Frank, he did say, like, oh, well, we're better there than we were this year. We're ahead of where we were this time last. Or is that a dig at players like Anthony Richardson that are no longer with the program?
I think it's a little both. I don't know if it's at Anthony, but I think it's a little both of. And I asked him, I said, is the buy-in there now? And he was immediate. Oh, yeah. And
he
I
said way more than last year.
You've got more guys that are now invested in what they're doing. You've got young guys who, quite frankly, and we talked about this, Joe, last year. Mm-hmm. Remember when I told you guys before the season began, I told you that they down there they believe they're good the first 24. After that, there are guys in that roster that shouldn't be playing Power 5 football. Yeah. So they've got better guys now, better players.
They're freshmen that are beyond that first 24, but they're better.
Well, all right. So
yeah, they have better guys, better speed, and I think they have guys that are more willing to be coached and more willing to invest in what they're doing.
Right, because I'm looking at Leon and I'm thinking to myself, freshmen and sophomores.
Look at how many guys left in the portal, Joe.
Yeah.
And
the guys,
guys.
But if they're given that doctrine, this new guy, in other words, when they walk in, it's this guy that's in charge. They weren't here with somebody else, and now they're trying to learn whether or not they want to buy into this guy's system. Can that happen from year 1 to year 2? Can it have a big change?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean,
some did, some did not.
Yeah, some did. No, you're good. No, but listen, some kids, believe it or not, they want to be a part of the process, the rebuilding process, and they saw how Florida played bad, last year, and And they might have been fans. They might have been young fans of Florida at a very young age, and they say, listen, I can come here, contribute, and I can help rebuild this program, be part of the restart. So, I mean, that'll become one reason. And then in the buy-in. The buy-in is the culture that you create, you know, in the offseason when you're coming off a bad season. When you just talked about the games that Matt was just talking about, the games you could have won and could have got on a nice little roll and could have come out the season feeling a little bit better about yourself. And I'm sure that the coaching staff had to address that. Hey, listen, if we do this here, if we did this here, we would have been here. We would have been here as far as record-wise go. And you use that ammunition during the offseason, and you say, hey, we're right there, and then you plug in the OTAs and the mini camps and all that kind of stuff. And it just like Sam Pittman said, he was talking about it yesterday. He was talking about it the other day. He said, you know, when you lose 4 games by 9 points, you can use that as incentive in the offseason, saying, hey, listen, we're close, but we just got to learn how to finish. And Florida could be looking at the same situation where a play here or a big play there, you know, we could be looking at a different scenario than 6 and 7 seeds.
Yeah, I like that. I think that's what Gator fans want to hear, or in the case of Mario down in Miami, that's what Hurricane fans want to hear, that there were guys there that said, whoa, I'm not putting all that work in. I've been giving my all, and these new coaches are trying to find the new all. They're trying to take them to that next level.
Well, I told you when we saw Mario the other last year at Amelia Island, first thing he came out of his mouth before he sat down with us, he said most of these kids didn't know how to work. He had to show them how to work. What they thought was enough wasn't good enough. And those guys who weren't good enough, they're gone. They're gone now because they didn't buy into the culture.
Yeah, that's what you have to install more than anything else. So what was the reaction, Matt, from your piece at Saturday Down South about it's going to take years? Because I think that is when you read that line, if you're a fan that's a diehard and wants to see the, quote, return to glory, you see that and you go, oh, my gosh, we're in for another 2 or 3 years.
First off, JoJo, I don't write headlines, okay? So
that's a good point.
Years makes it sound like myself of that. 5 to 8, okay? Yeah. Really, it's just I'm thinking if you just have 2 more years of patience this year and 2024, I think you're going to see the product you want to see in 25. Is it possible to be there in 24? 100% it is. But to be there in 24, you've got to get an elite quarterback from the portal, okay? Because I just don't see DJ Lagway coming in as a true freshman and leading that team to 10 or 11 wins. Now, if you get an elite quarterback from the portal, he's already recruiting to the level of these guys next year. He's already recruited this year's class and the 2024 class, and frankly, his initial class. He's got some dudes in that class too. So they're going to be a talented team. But again, I hate to keep belaboring the point, but they don't have a quarterback. They don't. It's at the end of the day, they do not. And you know, Frangie and Lauren and Carline were all giving me grief about Graham Mertz, and you know, we were after the show getting ready to go out last night, and my buddy Dennis Dodd walked up, and I said, look, you guys can be up saying I don't know what I'm talking about. You're mad at me. I'm overreacting. Ask Dennis about Graham Mertz. And Dennis looked at me and said, he's terrible. So. I mean, I don't know how other way to say it other than if you go and watch his games at Wisconsin, and like to blame Paul Chryst is ridiculous.
Well,
Paul Chryst is one of the most respected quarterback coaches and developers in all of football, not just college football, but the NFL too.
Yeah.
Look, it's some guys just don't get it. Now, is it possible that a change of scenery will help him? Sure it is. Yeah. Sure it is. All I'm saying is if you're going by track record, the way he played at Wisconsin, the way he played against ranked teams against Wisconsin, he did not look good, and he did not play well.
And I will say this, too, because I texted Matt and Frangie before we posted this clip on the 1010 channels, the bite about where he says, you know, if we were recruiting this kid right now, and he's the number 3 pro-style quarterback in America, everyone would be having a field day about it. They'd be throwing a parade because we got the number 3 quarterback in America, and so that's why he's confident in it. And, you know, I've heard some feedback already from some of my friends that are Gator fans that have said, well, what else do you expect him to say? No, like, he has to spin it somehow.
Oh, yeah.
But you also can't tell me that what we saw at Wisconsin wasn't reality. And you can't tell me that, yes, I understand Wisconsin is much more of a running back or a defensive line factory or an offensive line factory than it is a quarterback factory, despite Paul Chryst's success with quarterbacks in the past. But you can't tell me that this kid who's the most heralded quarterback recruit they've ever had goes there and he flops, whereas players of less star caliber, were able to go to Wisconsin and at least find success in college football.
There's one other thing too, Joe,
Yeah.
real quick. And it's the perfect example of what I'm saying next year is Graham March was a huge recruit. DJ Lagway's a huge recruit. There's no guarantee these guys are hitting. That's why my thing is he's going to get a quarterback from the portal after this year. He's going to try and get the best guy he can get. Not because he doesn't believe in DJ Lagway, but because he knows that sometimes these guys don't hit.
Yeah, well, it's got to be an uptick in performance to lure that guy, too. That also has to show on the field over the course of 12, 13 games that they can actually move the football. There's pieces up front. There's a run game. There's some receivers. There's a defense, for that guy to be attracted to come here. That's for sure. All right, real quick off the text line designed by Lifetime Enclosures. The commiss checking in. I don't know about y'all, but I love my team's head coach ticked off. I love that. From Billy Napier towards the media, and I'm an FSU fan.
Heck yeah,
so,
I agree with that.
And look, I want to see a little fire in the belly. I have not seen it, and your interpretation and all of you in Nashville's interpretation is that he is a little ticked off. Bring it on. That's what you want because you want to see a little nasty. Like Mario down in Miami said, if you don't like it, you got to hit the road. I'm not putting up with you being here, bringing us down. I'm going to find somebody else. Mike Norvell did the same thing up in Tallahassee. He kind of got them going and believing again. So that's really what it comes down to.
Well, I mean, why do you think 26 guys left? I can guarantee you he said, look, it's not working out.
Right.
Go.
Yeah.
Because he's talking about how guys are invested now. There's a reason all those guys left for the portal. They weren't invested in what he was selling.
Right.
And that happens again, it's not unique to Florida. It happens all the time. It happened to Mike Norvell. That's why he struggled early, because those guys weren't invested in what he was selling.
Mm-hmm.
So it happens. It takes time.
Yep, move them through the chute. All right, let's give something away here. We'll keep it rolling on the SEC Media Days. Plenty more from Nashville as the last handful of coaches come through. I did put out the thought earlier that I do believe that Lane Kiffin has gone to a Paul Mitchell styling school in the offseason. So I want to get back to that and get you two's thoughts on that. But right now, JJ, give him something to win.
Yeah, I have a Chick-fil-A gift pack of several gift cards, including a free chicken sandwich, and BCAR number 4 right now at 641-1010.
Buckle up. You're in the First Coast Honda Dealer Studios with XL Primetime on 1010XL. Find your new Honda at your 8 local Honda dealers. Rubbins Racing.
Here we go. He's going to move him. He's going to move him. He's going to move him.
This Sunday at Pocono Raceway. Brought to you by Famous Automotive Tire and Quick Lube. Servicing every customer like they're famous. On your NASCAR station, 1010XL.
Hey, Matt Hayes here. Are you suffering with chronic pain and looking for the tools to end your pain and allow you to do the things you want to do? Then search no further. The YAS method for pain-free movement establishes the cause of pain and has found in 98% of the cases the cause is muscular. With 3 to 4 specialized strength training exercises that you perform and are taught to do on your own, you will end your pain and reclaim your life. No surgery, no pills, no needles. Call Dr. Yas at 904-906-YASS or schedule online at livewithoutpains.com and listen to the Pain-Free Living Hour with Dr. Yas, Sundays at 10 a.m. on 1010XL.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you listen to one commercial today, listen to this one.
Beaver Toyota and Beaver Chevrolet are doing it again, recognizing the local heroes in our community with a brand new car. That's right, we'll be giving away a brand new car, cash, and free oil changes for life to our local heroes. Nominate a law enforcement officer, firefighter, EMT, nurse, teacher, veteran, or your local WOW hero. Head to localwowheroes.com to nominate and vote today. Let's wow our heroes.
You will love your new custom windows and doors from Renewal by Andersen. For a limited time, get $289 off every window and $589 off all patio doors. Plus, no money down, no payments, and no interest for 18 months. Enjoy the beauty and quality that only Renewal by Andersen offers. This offer expires July 31st and restrictions apply. Renewal by Andersen, the official window and door replacement partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Visit rbafla.com. License number CGC 1527613.
Introducing an exciting update from Duck Duck Rooter. Mia here and my friends at Duck Duck are thrilled to expand on their already long line of home and business services with the launch of Duck Duck Air Conditioning. As a licensed mechanical contractor, the skilled Duck Duck Air Conditioning team is equipped to handle any HVAC and refrigeration project you can throw at them. Folks, it is hot outside. There is no reason to be hot inside. Contact Duck Duck Air Conditioning today at 904-862-6769 or online at duckduckac.com.
Trivia Tuesday, $5 Whiskey Wednesday, Thirsty Thursday, Discount Cocktail Friday, live music Friday and Saturday, MLB Baseball every week. Players Grill has something for you all week long. Players Grill Miramar, where the neighborhood meets.
Sail away with Captain K.
That's a fish right there, 100%. We got a fish on.
Captain Kevin and the Ring Power Fishing Forecast Show.
Keep on working it.
Brought to you by Houston's Meats.
Thursday nights at 6
on 1010XL AM.
Men, if you're struggling with erectile dysfunction or PE, the medical providers at Prime Men's Medical Center offer breakthrough treatments that eliminate problems in the bedroom without pain or surgery. Listen to a specialist in men's health.
I'm Dr. Simovitz. Prime Men's Medical Center offers the most advanced treatments to eliminate ED and PE. 98% of men experience instant results on their first office visit. They're even lasting 90 minutes or longer, regardless of age or medical history.
Don't just take our word for it. Call Prime Men's Medical Center now for our limited time offer. Your initial consultation and first treatment are completely free. You'll see instant results right in the office. You'll even get a gift that enhances your performance in the bedroom. All this, worth hundreds of dollars, is free if you call now. 904-664-8217. 904-664-8217. That's 904-664-8217.
Mystic Cornhole Company is on the move. The store where excitement meets excellence is relocating this month to the corner of Hogan and Parental Home Road. And you can always find them online at mysticcornhole.com.
This is Hayes Carline for QC Kinetics. It's time to take control. Don't give in to that constant joint pain. Take back your quality of life today with QC Kinetics. Call them today at 904-274-5522 to set up an appointment at their Mandarin or Ponte Vedra locations. Take control with QC Kinetics. No surgery, no drugs, no downtime, no more pain in your knees, hips, shoulders, or back. QC Kinetics takes your body's own healing agents and concentrates them in the area where you have pain. You can repair and restore damaged tissue naturally through regenerative medicine. The summer is here. You need to be out there having fun, making memories, golfing, walks on the beach, enjoying your life. Take control now and start living pain-free. No surgery, no downtime. QC Kinetics has locations in Mandarin and Ponte Vedra. Call them today at 274-5522. That's 274-5522.
Hey, poker fans! Christmas in July is back at Best Bet this month. From July 12th through July 23rd, we're paying out over $260,000 in cash, with high hands increasing daily up to $2,300 every hour. Plus, chances to win a 7-day cruise valued at over $3,000. Don't miss all the excitement of Christmas in July. Visit BestBetJax.com for more details. That's BestBetJax.com.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, the official personal injury law firm of the Jaguars, protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555, Jacksonville. This is XL Primetime, brought to you by Florida Home AC. Now that's cool on 1010XL.
Thanks to Cycles of Jacksonville on a Thursday. You hear that music, you can have a cool on-the-water experience. Cycles of Jacksonville, normally on-road, off-road, but now on the water as well. Take a look at those beautiful pontoon boats. Is the way Greg Mackey describes it. Ain't your daddy's pontoon boat. It is souped up and cool, so check it out with Honda-powered engines as well. CyclesofJacksonville.com. Definitely check them out. All right, so, Leon, when we take a look at the way, some teams can come back quickly, turn their team around, and get right back into contention. I'm going to use Deion Sanders as an example because of what he did at his alma mater. But let's now move ahead. Can he do anything near that at the University of Colorado? Because Colorado has been dismal. He ran a lot of guys off. Is he going to be able to turn that bad boy around quickly? Because
Well,
I think it's going to be a tough road to hoe.
I hate to say this, but it was like waste management. A lot of those guys just weren't fixed for what he was trying to bring. They were toxic. He had to get rid of them because they didn't buy into the program that way. Now he got some headbangers in the Pac-12 that he's got to go up against. I mean, the Utahs ain't going to Washington, USC's, UCLA's.
They're real.
The Utahs, the Oregon State. I just named 7 potential losses right there.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
I mean, until he can put that product on the field and we see how they execute against the big boys, it's going to be in question, and it's going to have to take some time. Because I don't know how many guys left. There had to be over 28. Had about 30 guys leave there or whatever. So he had to replace those guys. And more than likely, had to replace those guys with portal guys, freshman guys, 5-star guys, and all that. So it's going to take them time to develop. I think the transition is going to need a couple of years, but I mean. Colorado's not going to take the Pac-12 by storm in year one because you got too many heavy hitters that they got to go up against. I just believe that. But you know what? It's going to be fun watching it.
Yeah.
It's either going to be a limo ride or it's going to be a train wreck. One of the two.
Yeah, and so I think to myself, okay, you named the perfect reason why it will be tough.
Mm-hmm.
And then I think to myself, Steve Sarkisian, he's trying to go into Texas. He's trying to revive Texas, Longhorn pride, all that stuff. And they've gone through some coaches now trying to figure it out. And he will have a little hot water if he doesn't do better this year. Jimbo Fisher, as we've talked about a bunch, he has not turned that team around. He's been competitive at times, but it hasn't stuck. Look at what Brett Venables walked into in Norman, Oklahoma. I don't believe they've gone. They probably have gone a decade without losing more than one game a season. And they expect him, after Lincoln Riley left, to just come right in there and basically return them to glory. Well, they didn't.
Nope.
They lost a half dozen times. They stunk it up, maybe even more than that. And so it's tough when you have that ultimate responsibility, which is this big program that's storied, and you have to resurrect it.
Here's the problem with coaches, that when one coach leaves and another coach leaves and they try to create this culture and they change things, they change the way you work out, the way you on the field and all that kind of stuff. If kids don't see success from that, from the changes and the discipline and all the resilience of getting work done the right way, they'll turn on you and you'll start losing games, and then kids will get tired of the discipline and all and the drilling and on the field, that kind of stuff. But if you're winning is always the cure. If you're winning and you're bought into what they're trying to change and the culture and everything like that, then it's a smooth transition. I mean, Brian Kelly is a perfect example. He had to have done something at LSU where he had lost so many players, had brought in some, they bought into and they started winning early and often. Now, they lost to Florida State, but I'm saying doing the back end, they had success going into the offseason. But it's got to be hard for any program where you come in there and you want to make significant changes and the players don't see wins equating from that. Then kids they'll lose interest and start doing their own thing, and then that's when you get 6 and 6, 5 and 7 seasons.
That's when you get mediocre. All right, well, Shane Beamer has pushed him past mediocre up there in Gamecock land. He's one of the guys right there in the Hyatt up in Nashville, so hopefully we'll be able to hear from him a little bit later on XL Primetime.
Cruising with XL Primetime in the First Coast Honda Dealer Studios on 1010XL. This Open Championship update on 1010XL is brought to you by Mr. Sparky of the First Coast and MyBookie.
Westwood One Sports presents this special report on the 151st British Open. Wherever your golf journey is headed, a PGA professional will help get you there. Find your PGA coach at pga.com/coach. Players aren't too happy with the internal out-of-bounds area just off the fairways at 3 and 18 at Royal Liverpool. But it is what it is. Ricky Fowler landed there twice with his second shot at 18, ended up making triple bogey 8 to finish his round of 1 over 72. That's 6 behind the leaders Christo Lamprecht and Tommy Fleetwood, both posting 5 under 66 to start the championship this morning in Hoylake. Lamprecht, a rising senior at Georgia Tech, won the British Amateur last month to earn a spot in the field. Fleetwood playing in his home open. His caddy Ian Finnis lives in Hoylake. Antoine Rosner and Adrian Otegi shoot 4 under 67, both one back. Rory McIlroy is 1 over through 11. I'm Ted Emmerich, Westwood One Sports.
Every day, PGA coaches across the country are helping golfers reach their goals.
First time picking up a club? Let's get started.
16th hole still giving you nightmares? Let's conquer it.
Want to bring a friend along? Let's learn together.
Let's focus on health.
On fun.
On nothing at all.
Let's talk goals.
Let's try something new.
Let's keep it going.
Let's have some fun. Improve, connect, or escape. Wherever your golf journey is headed, let's get you there. Find your PGA coach at pga.com/coach.
Now your ideas don't have to wait. Now they have everything they need to come to life. Dell Technologies and Intel are creating technology that loves ideas, loves expanding your business, evolving your passions. We push what technology can do, so great ideas can happen right now. Find out how to bring your ideas to life at Dell.com. Welcome to Now.
Flickering lights and hot switches can be annoying. They can also signal a major problem or electrical emergency. So leave it to the pros and Mr. Sparky.
888-8 Your on-time electrician, Mr. Sparky of the First Coast.
Jacksonville Orthopedic Institute is the sports medicine leader in Northeast Florida. We're proud to be the official sports medicine provider for your hometown teams, including the Jaguars, Sharks, Axemen, Armada, and the Jumbo Shrimp. We have the most cutting-edge resources for sports medicine care, including active armor casting, Alter-G anti-gravity treadmills, and highly trained physicians and athletic trainers. JOI is truly where the pros go, and so should you.
The Big Deal lineup is back at Sonny's Barbecue, and now there's bacon. Introducing the new candied bacon burger, chicken sandwich, and fried green tomato BLT. All topped with bacon that's coated and crisped in our sweet and spicy rub. Each served with a side and drink starting at $9.99 for a limited time. Or add candied bacon to any sandwich for just $2. Come get a Big Deal combo today at Sonny's Barbecue. Local pit masters since '68.
Hey folks, Rick Ballou here for John's Auto. They've been a staple in Jacksonville going all the way back to 1985. At John's Auto, they service all makes, all models, cars, trucks, diesel, you name it, they do it. Whether it's routine maintenance or a complete engine overhaul. Call John's Auto on Arlington Road. That's 904-743-3857 or go to johnsautomotivejacks.com.
A breakfast deserving of a gold jacket.
This is the greatest omelet I ever tasted.
Breakfast with Boselli.
Monday mornings on The Drill. Breakfast. Brought to you by Epstein & Robbins DUI Defense Firm and Mr. Reuter Plumbing. Breakfast provided by Chick-fil-A.
Good people drink good beer, and great people drink Mocama, a refined craft brewery out of Fernandina Beach, Florida. Mocama Beer Company brings sophisticated flagship beers, including Cosmico IPA and Dune Garden Lager, to the greater Jacksonville area. Whether you're hitting the water with friends or enjoying a backyard barbecue, Mocama has the perfect pair for your summer activities. Look for us wherever great beers are sold and find your Mocama.
All year long you'll be singing our song. Stay cooler with Bueller. At the head of our class we make it happen fast. Stay cooler with Bueller. For heating and air we always play fair. We make the difference 'cause we really care. Bueller Air. Stay cooler with Bueller.
Do you or your employees need CPR certification? Hi, I'm Megan with the Northeast Florida Safety Council. We have kept Florida businesses safe for over 80 years. We are now offering weekly American Red Cross First Aid, CPR, AED, BBP classes. Our training includes thorough hands-on training, testing, and the knowledge you need to be confident in an emergency situation. To save a life, visit nefsc.org to view our safety training classes. That's nefsc.org.
Hurricane season is officially underway, and now's the perfect time to make sure your home is protected from those storms by scheduling a complimentary roof inspection with Universal Roof and Contracting. And right now, get 15% off your roofing project, plus flexible financing. This offer expires July 31st and restrictions apply. Universal Roof and Contracting, proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars. License number CCC 1330747, CBC 1258484.
UniversalRoof.com.
Life is about choices and the decisions you make. I'm David Robbins with Epstein & Robbins. If you're convicted of a DUI, you'll have to face severe consequences. Walking through the doors of the courthouse or appearing at a bond hearing can be extremely intimidating. Without the right lawyer, you're likely to make the wrong decision. Let our team help you make the right decisions in court. Epstein & Robbins, the right choice.
Epstein & Robbins, fighting for your rights since 1975.
Mark Watson with Hardball Creative. Youth sports are getting back into full swing, so you know what that means. Custom Yetis so dads can keep their beer or sodas cold. Check them out at hardballcreative.com.
Hardball Creative. Hardball does it all.
Attention golfers, Hidden Hills Golf Club has become an attractive destination for golfers all over North Florida. You too will enjoy our classic Arnold Palmer design that'll test your game and keep you coming back. Book a tee time today at hiddenhillsgc.com.
Registration is now open for the 1-to-1 Greater Jacksonville Kingfish Tournament. Over $400,000 in cash and prizes. The first place fish wins a Contender 25 with twin Yamahas. Tournament payouts up to 20 places large and 20 places aggregate. Of course, there's big cash prizes for lady anglers too. First place junior angler wins an Ohana skiff with motor and trailer. Register today at kingfishtournament.com.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, the official personal injury law firm of the Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Bringing the players and coaches of the SEC to you. All-weather contractors SEC Media Days. Presented by South State Bank. This segment is brought to you by Southern Steer Butcher, Underwood Jewelers, and Bueller Air Conditioning on 1010XL.
Definitely some reaction on the text line designed by Lifetime Enclosures when it comes to the Florida Gators and where they will land record-wise this year. What will it look like? Will it look better? All that stuff. And whether or not Billy's going to buy time based on the product looking better and try and keep that recruiting role that he's on going, which has been big. There's no doubt about that. Plenty as far as Florida's concerned, and then also the rest of the SEC. We're going to the ACC kickoff coming up on Monday. We'll be on the road up to Charlotte, and then we'll have 3 days of ACC kickoff coverage, including Mike Norvell from Florida State, Mario Cristobal from Miami, and many others. So looking forward to that. One off the text line said Norvell has already gotten ahead of the game and gotten his quarterback to commit to FSU, and we should not dismiss the fact that he had Jordan Travis. Even though he had growing pains the entire time he's been there, he's had Jordan Travis to rely on. All right, so Maddie and me, as we get ready to roll the Brian Kelly interview, I mean, we all agree. If you have a signal caller and you have an offense that's been installed, every single play they go out there and take a snap, there's more and more familiarity. That's the case for Jordan Travis. That's the case for Jaden Daniels. And that's the case for success, period.
And that's why I go back to last week, and I know we had the big argument of, do you have to bring a quarterback to media days, yes or no, especially if there is a quarterback competition going on, and I respect that. But the reality is it's not a coincidence that the teams that we believe are stable heading into the 2023 season are the teams that definitively know who their quarterback is and know who their head coach is. It's elementary to say, especially because we talk about it in the National Football League all the time with the fact that Jacksonville has a head coach and has a quarterback for the first time in eons and how important that is. But that's what you're seeing here, too. That's the reason so many people are buying into LSU, because they have the quarterback, they have the head coach. And if you go down the line of the 5 quarterbacks that have been here this week, and then you look at the head coach, you look at the trajectory, yeah, sure, maybe you look at a South Carolina knowing how up and down Spencer Rattler was 1 year ago, and you're not so sure you want to buy into them. Maybe you look at Arkansas, KJ Jefferson with the injuries at times last year, and their inconsistent play, and maybe you don't want to buy into him and Sam Pittman. But at the same time, those are 2 guys that turned lemons into lemonade 2 years ago. And so I would buy them perhaps more than a situation like Florida, where Graham Mertz is the ultimate unknown, and Billy Napier and his, he didn't improve a whole lot in year 1.
I don't. Go ahead, Joe.
I almost feel like Matt, he's not the ultimate unknown. He's the ultimate known.
Who's that?
Mertz.
Graham Mertz.
Mertz?
We know who he is.
I mean, I hate to keep saying, I know people hate hearing me say it, but all you got to do is watch his games. Mm-hmm. Just watch his games. Watch him play at Wisconsin. Watch him play in the ranked games last year. it's almost like he plays scared, honestly. Again, maybe it's just the program. Maybe it's just the situation he was in. He was a huge recruit, the biggest recruit they've ever had there. And there was a lot of pressure placed on him. Had 7 touchdowns and no interceptions his first 2 games, and then had 31 touchdowns and 29 interceptions the rest of his career there. There was a lot placed on him. There was a lot of pressure placed on him. But if he thinks there's pressure there at Wisconsin, what do you think he's walking into now? Mm-hmm. Wisconsin is a very good football program. Wisconsin's not Florida. So if he thinks there was pressure there, this is a completely different ball of wax for him right now.
All right, so speaking of pressure, LSU, we're going to roll the Brian Kelly interview with you and Frank. Leon, before we roll it, and then Matt and Mia, you can give me, where you think the pitfall is once we come out of this, because I'm loving on LSU, so's Surst, and so's Matt. But where's the loss, and is there more than one, Leon, as you look at the schedule?
Well, I'm looking at the schedule, and the only loss that I see possibly, depending on the Florida State game, that could go either way. That's a coin toss or whatever. At Ole Miss and at Alabama.
Okay.
Those are the 2 games that I definitely will be watching, see how they play.
Yeah, and it does come down to how they come out of the box. Is Jaden Daniels taking that next big step in his career under Brian Kelly? So let's hear that conversation that Matt and Frank had with the LSU head coach.
Busy day in his dapper Navy suit.
Look how good you look, man.
You look good. How are you?
I've been in Italy on the Mediterranean diet.
Get out of here, really?
Yeah. Gotta get out of town.
Explain it real quick. What is it? The Mediterranean diet.
Oh, it's just eat pasta, drink red wine.
It's a great diet. I'm going to try, Brian. I'm going to try that.
And hang out at Lake Como.
There you go.
Good for you.
Thanks for joining us. How are you? How's the off season been? Good.
Good. I mean, there is no off season. You get a little time in July.
Yeah.
June is crazy because you've got camps, and we did official visits the entire month of June. So, and then you just find some time, the first week or so in July to get away a little bit, and then you got to keep an eye on the store. You can't go away too long.
Right. So we just had Jaden here.
Yeah.
What a great kid, number 1.
Awesome.
Number 2, I love how you got in there in the big room and you said, Jaden's got to work. He's got a good guy behind him. Mm-hmm. Jaden loves that, doesn't he? He loves being pushed like that.
That's how he didn't come back just because, it's LSU and I'm not ready. He came back because he wants to get better. And Garrett Nussmeier makes him better. Garrett Nussmeier is better because of Jaden Daniels, because he has somebody to compete against. And so when you have a 1-2 quarterback combination like that, that's a competitive advantage that we have, that other teams don't have that kind of depth at that quarterback position. So it's a good situation.
Brian Kelly with us, the LSU head coach. Look, you've done this before. You went from Cincinnati to this esteemed school at Notre Dame, but then did it again last year in another esteemed school and great expectations, and really surpassed those. Was there ever a time when you took either one of those jobs, Notre Dame or LSU, when you looked up and go, wow, these stadiums are loud here. I heard you talk about that earlier. How did the whole thing come about for you?
Well, I mean, I think everything's time and place, right? I mean, you look at where you're at, 13 years at Notre Dame. I think I had a different mindset going to Notre Dame, is that we wanted to modernize football at Notre Dame. We felt like they had slipped. And we wanted consistency, and that they were back really in terms of being relevant. And I think we checked those boxes. I didn't necessarily want to go there and have a statue. I mean, it was much more about bringing that football program back. We thought we did that, and then other opportunities become available, and you measure, where you're at versus what LSU has to offer. And we felt like my wife and I talked about it. We had one more left in us.
Yeah.
LSU provides incredible resources. You can recruit the state of Louisiana and maybe a couple others.
And you're pretty good.
Not the entire country.
Right.
We said, you know what? Let's give this a shot at a different part of the country. We're excited about coming to Louisiana. And it's worked out great.
So we were talking to Jaden. He said he had to win the locker room, win the job, win the fan base, and win games. And I'm thinking, well, BK had to do the same thing. You literally had to do the same thing.
No doubt.
So at what point do you think you felt during the season, all right, I've hit those 4 things?
Probably, I had to win the players over after the Tennessee loss. And so we stayed positive and stayed on course with what we were doing. That I think was the turning point in the season, that we kept our players committed to what we were doing in our plan. Then we won. You know, we got the real good comeback win against Ole Miss, and then it took off from there. I think that's when the fan base said, you know what, this is going to be a pretty good football team. They play the right way. They play for 4 quarters. We overcame a 17-point deficit on the road and won that game. I think it's the great thing about SEC football is they respect you if you play the game the right way. Yeah, everybody wants to win a championship. I get that. But if you play the right way, they're going to respect you. And we played the right way, and I think our locker room then came together because of that.
Brian, final thing here. You have a brutal schedule because you're playing the SEC. But you start with a really good football team.
Yeah.
I mean, and I know that's the wave now. People want to start with a really good non-conference team. But you start with a really good one. A veteran quarterback just like you have, a good football coach who calls his plays.
No doubt.
Talk about the importance of that game. It's in our state. It's in Orlando. Talk about the importance of that game as you move toward your season. I think it's a critically important game.
The importance is that it's on the schedule and they know it. So the way they train, the way they work out, the way they prepare, their focus in camp, they know who they're playing. So all of the things resonate because of who their opponent is. They know what has to happen. So that's the importance of the game. When they play the game, they understand that winning and losing will have an influence. But if you win the rest of them, you're playing for a national championship. So it's not a make or break game. What it is a game that gets their attention and the way they prepare. And that, to me, is the most important thing.
Brian Kelly, the LSU football coach. Hey, man, thanks for stopping by. Good luck this year. We
My
sure
pleasure.
appreciate it.
Good to see you guys.
Thanks, Brian.
Again.
Good to see you, man.
Good to see you, man.
Brian,
good to see you. Thank you.
Like he's been there all along. They definitely have a good team. He mentioned Florida State. Florida State can make a huge statement. So I think every one of us would include that one as a coin flip, or you don't know exactly who's going to win game. I'm going to add to what Leon put out there, Alabama and Ole Miss. I'm going to add Texas A&M. As much as I've questioned Texas A&M, Matt and Mia, I do think at the end of the year, Thanksgiving weekend, that could be a mammoth game. A little bit of pressure from inside for LSU and A&M trying to strike late to make something happen. Who else do you have on their radar as a potential loss?
I mean, honestly, there's numerous games. I don't think I would just limit it to Alabama. I think Texas A&M's potential. I think Ole Miss's potential. Clearly FSU. Clearly Alabama. I mean, that the West is really good. The West is really good. I mean, if they don't play at their top level, I could easily see them losing to Arkansas. So they almost lost to Arkansas last year. Mm-hmm. I think they're going to win the league, but I think it's not going to be as easy as like Georgia rolling through the league. It's going to be difficult, no doubt about it.
My one caveat to everything about why I think LSU could have a cakewalk is because they have one road game in the second half of the year, and then it's at Tuscaloosa. They will get up for that. I can almost guarantee it. If anything, I would look at that home game against Florida, which by all accounts could be a nooner or an 11 a.m.er out there in Baton Rouge on the second week in November. And that potentially is the trap game because I just think the schedule sets up so well for them. To Matt's point, though, I think it is tough sledding that 3-week stretch of at Mississippi State, home against Arkansas, and then at Ole Miss, because those 3 programs, when they've come down Radio Road this week, have made believers out of us. Maybe not to win the whole league or win the division, but certainly to be competitive in the West. They've retooled their roster. We enjoyed our conversation with Zach Arnett and with Will Rogers and the rest of the crew of Mississippi State. Obviously a difficult situation. Everyone's counting them out following the passing of Mike Leach. Arkansas, they're upset. Just like we talked about how Billy Napier and the Gators seem ticked off, Arkansas is ticked off. Four losses, Matt, by what? Their combined 13 points?
Yeah.
They're ticked off. You would have to think Ole Miss is ticked off because there's people writing them off too. So I think that's a tough 3-week stretch, but I think because it's in the first half of the season, LSU gets up for it, and it really helps that then they only have that one road game on the back half.
All right, we will steam into the 2 o'clock hour. Take a look at that leaderboard. Rory McIlroy, by the way, 2 over par right now. Oh, we're getting ready for Coach Campo. Big Sarce, you are heading out the door.
I'm out, baby.
All right, so relax the rest of the afternoon.
Mm-hmm. No, I gotta get to work in.
Oh, you gotta get to work in.
Yeah, you know, I got the workout clothes on now.
Oh yeah, he is ready to go. Now that I look at it,
Jim
Mr.
ready.
XFL.
Jim ready.
We're all man's man here, right?
All right, Sarce, enjoy the rest of the afternoon.
All right.
All right, he heads out. We will keep holding it down up in Nashville. Leaderboard updates coming your way, and Coach Campo as well.
You're riding in the First Coast Honda Dealer Studios. XL Primetime on 1010XL. This Open Championship update on 1010XL is brought to you by Mr. Sparky of the First Coast and MyBookie.
Westwood One Sports presents this special report on the 151st British Open, sponsored by Fidelity Wealth Management. A month ago, Wyndham Clark outdueled Rory McIlroy to win the U.S. Open in Los Angeles. And after one round at Royal Liverpool, Clark is in contention at the British Open. The Denver product signing for a 3-under-68, he stayed patient after parring the first 9 holes.
The back nine's probably the tougher of the nines, and I played good on the front. I I didn't really make any putts, but it was very consistent, a lot of tap-ins for par, which is huge. And then when I started making some putts, I got some good momentum and kept going.
Clark is 2 off the lead, held by 6'8" South African amateur Christo Lamprecht, Tommy Fleetwood, and Emiliano Grillo, all 5 under. Grillo just joined them with a 50-foot birdie at the par 5 18th. 2 players at 4 under, Antoine Rosner and Adrian Otaegui. Rory McIlroy, 2 over through 13. He's 7 back. I'm Ted Emmerich, Westwood One Sports.
Traveling, volunteering, spending time with family. What's your retirement look like? With income planning from Fidelity Wealth Management, a dedicated advisor can help you grow and protect your wealth. They'll look at your full financial picture and help you create a flexible strategy that considers things like market conditions and healthcare expenses, so you can stop worrying about the future and enjoy whatever comes next. Visit fidelity.com/income planning. Investment minimums apply. Fidelity Brokerage Services, member NYSE, SIPC.
For the ones who know safety isn't a catchphrase, it's a culture. And the ones who help make sure everyone makes it home safe. For the safety-minded who watch everyone's backs, Grainger offers supplies and solutions for every industry, as well as safety assessments and training to keep your facilities safe and your people safer. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
At Cannons of Jacksonville, they know that when you're towing anything, you gotta have products you can rely on. With over 50 years of fabrication expertise, the family at Cannons can repair or install precisely what you need to tow with confidence. Whether it's a heavy-duty hitch, trailer frame, gooseneck, tow bar, or any other towing accessory, Cannons will provide you with unmatched precision and durability. For all your towing needs, visit cannonsofjacks.com, where quality and customer satisfaction collide.
Are you embarrassed by your ugly, cracked concrete driveway? Need to enhance your home's curb appeal? Stonecore on Phillips Highway is your one-stop shop for all your outdoor needs. Replacing with new stone pavers will transform your driveway into a stunning work of art. Say goodbye to unsightly concrete and hello to beautiful, durable pavers that last for years. Visit Stonecore today and let's beautify your home together. Stonecore.co. We do outdoors better.
Men suffering from ED or PE, you'll see instant results on your first visit at Prime Men's Medical Center. For a limited time, your initial consultation and first treatment are totally free. You'll even get a gift that enhances performance in the bedroom. Call 904-664-8217.
Are you looking for increased privacy and protection for your family and pets? Look no further than Superior Fence and Rail. Superior Fence and Rail is Jacksonville's top-rated fence company, delivering the highest quality fence products. They'll treat your property as if it's their own. So get off the fence and get your privacy back. Call Superior Fence and Rail today for your on-site estimates.
When you're on the fence, about a fence, SuperiorFenceandRail.com.
Cold beer and good grub. That's what you'll get at Taps on 210. Just a great neighborhood feel where friends and family get together. Check out Taps in the Winn-Dixie Plaza, just west of 95 on County Road 210, proudly supporting our 9 After 5 weekly. Head there for a cold one.
The flagship station of the Jacksonville Jaguars. WJXL AM Jacksonville Beach. WJXL FM Jacksonville Beach.
This is Hayes Carline for First Florida Credit Union. I bank with First Florida Credit Union because I trust them. I can always count on them when it comes to the vast services they provide.
They were fantastic in setting up my car loan. I've never had a bad experience, and I've banked with them for years. I trust First Florida Credit Union. I go to the branch off 210 in St. Johns County and the New Durban location, but they have 10 branches in the Jacksonville area. You need to be banking with First Florida Credit Union. They're enriching people every day. Federally insured by NCUA, Equal Housing Opportunity Lender.
If you want to get into broadcasting, 1010XL is partnering with the Broadcasters and Sportscasters Mentoring Group to offer on-air broadcast training to a select few. Find out how you can be mentored at getintobroadcasting.com. Getintobroadcasting.com.
When it's hot and you know it, clap your hands. When it's hot and you know it, clap your hands. When it's hot and you know it, and your sweat stains really show it. When it's hot and you know it, call the Duck.
AC broken at your home or business? Stop clapping your hands, pick up the phone, and call Duck Duck Air Conditioning, the mechanical contractor pros when it comes to getting your AC unit working again. 904-862-6769. That's 904-862-6769. Duck Duck Air Conditioning, a division of Duck Duck Rooter.
Ew, gotta get rid of this old Backstreet Boys t-shirt.
Tell me why.
Because it stinks, boys.
Tell me why.
I've washed it so many times, but the odor won't come out.
Tell me why.
No, you tell me why I can't get rid of this odor.
Have you tried New Downy Rinse and Refresh? It doesn't just cover up odors, it helps remove them.
Wow, it worked, guys.
Yeah.
Downy Rinse and Refresh removes more odor in one wash than the leading value detergent in 3 washes. Find it wherever you buy laundry products.
Hacker here for the Sausage Dude Sausage, the sausage partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars. The Sausage Dude Sausage is made from high-quality pork and carefully sourced spices that make it the best sausage I've ever tried. You can pick up the Sausage Dude Sausage at Publix locations all throughout Jacksonville. Try the Polish, Hungarian, beer bratwurst with cheddar and jalapeno, or my favorite, the Italian. Take it from me, the Sausage Guy, and get to Publix today to get your hands on the Sausage Dude's Sausage.
Active and pain-free. That's the ticket. Dr. George Barry here, and I know that's the goal of every patient I see. They want the best possible care so they can go back to enjoying life. That could be pick up basketball, golf, tennis, running, or just working out. It all requires you to be as healthy as you can be. If joint pain is taking its toll on your active lifestyle, come see me at Barry Orthopedics. We have locations all over Jacksonville and can diagnose and treat even the most severe joint pain. A homegrown Jacksonville practice. Find out more at barryorthopedics.com.
Does your home or building need painting? For over 20 years, Performance Painting has had the privilege of preserving many of Jacksonville's most prominent buildings. That said, we feel like we're just getting started. I'm Jason Parker, and our team thrives on preparing, protecting, and preserving the homes, businesses, and public buildings that make up our local landscape. Contact us today to put our years of experience to work for you. Performance Painting. Prepare, protect, preserve.
Performance Painting.
Did you know the 2023 Honda CR-V Hybrid never needs to be plugged in? The onboard system charges the batteries for you. When you think Honda, think hybrid. Good for the environment, great for your budget. Visit your local Honda dealer to experience the CR-V of the future today.
This is your Southeast Orthopedic Specialist Local Sports Update brought to you by Greater Jacksonville Kingfish Tournament. I'm Taylor Dahl for 1010XL. SEC Media Days continued yesterday with Alabama and Florida. Coach Billy Napier and the Gators have been hot on the recruiting trail the last couple of months for 2024. But people have questions surrounding this season. Napier joined the Frangie Show and shared thoughts on the staff he has hired.
I'm consumed with getting better. Right? Like, what can we do better, relative to our processes in-house, the approach we take throughout the year. And I've got a ton of confidence in the people we've hired, and I'm excited about the administration, their belief in what we do, how we do it.
Visit 1010XL.com for more from Coach Billy Napier. It's 93 degrees at 2 o'clock. Time and temp are brought to you by Bueller Air Conditioning. Stay cooler with Bueller.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, the official personal injury law firm of the Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Let's welcome in XL Primetime's coach, Dave Campo.
Looking good, looking sharp, looking ready to roll. He is inside the newly redesigned 1010XL Studios, Coach.
Wow.
What do you think?
I love this.
And by the way, we can strobe light you in if you want. Like, we can play the music, and then we could strobe light. JJ, I actually haven't gotten this part of it down yet, but I'm going to let JJ show you a little
Neither
bit.
have I, so.
Yeah, I know. But listen, you're supposed to figure these things out.
We're absolutely loving, by the way, watching you guys on YouTube. That's the next step. We got to show Coach how you can see us in Nashville and also you guys at the 1010XL studios.
And then the Snoop.
Not going to believe it.
And you got Snoop over here. That's perfect. I understand Snoop's going to be at some deal here in town.
He's in concert next month. Oh yeah. That's why we got the Corona bobblehead, because we're going to give one away.
See,
for,
I'm on the.
You're
up
hip
with the. Yeah, I'm hip with the new stuff.
Completely hip. Yes.
New
stuff.
You know that, Matt. He is. He's totally hip. All right, so let's just
New
start off. Let's start off this
I believe
conversation.
Doggy Style is his 30th year anniversary this week, by the way.
Oh yeah.
Very new.
Yeah.
Very new. All right, so let's do this, and then we're going to circle back to the SEC before we're done. But we got a couple segments with Coach Campo, and you can feel free to throw any college our way based on what you've been listening to. But we're counting it down. It is training camp next week. What is a head coach and a football staff doing right now? The rookies are going to be coming in over the weekend, veterans next week. What's going on?
Well, this is an exciting time because I think the guys are well rested, the coaching staff, and they're going through the installs, going through, everything is scripted. So the coordinators are doing the scripts for all the individual play calls that are going to be used in practice. And, they're finalizing all the final things about, where everybody's going to be during practice, how the practices are going to go, when the shift changes are going to happen between the different periods. And, all that stuff has got to be on point because, that's the key is the organization part of getting going. Plus the fact with the rookies coming in and the quarterbacks, the install is extremely important now for those guys. Remember, there's only 3 preseason games, Joe, right now. These young guys coming in have got to show up immediately. So they want to give them a little bit of a heads up on the install, and when the veterans are here, at least they have a little bit of background going in because they've got to go out there and prove something right away.
Absolutely. Coach, I'm sorry, I was just scrolling through Twitter right now, and I guess, I don't want to do a that for this, but I feel like this is a good question for you as we kind of talk about what's going on in NFL facilities right now. Apparently, Vikings first-round draft pick Jordan Addison was just issued a citation and charged with speeding and reckless driving, pulled over, going 140 miles per hour at 3 a.m. this morning by Minnesota State Patrol. As a head coach, obviously there's always the potential for off-the-field transgressions like this, but this time of year where it's those last few days before camp begins, how much communication do you have? How do you keep guys within the bubble and behaving accordingly?
Well, that's a very difficult one because, anytime you've got time off for any length of time, you get concerned about the fact that, anything can happen out there. And for some reason, these guys, these football players, a lot of them are speed thrill guys. And, that's why you see at Georgia some guys racing and doing all these different things. It's really a concern during that period of time. And you hope that you have enough understanding with your team and how important each one guy is to be there and be 100%, and how important it is off the field to do things well. Unfortunately, it doesn't always work. They've actually had some guys killed during that off period. Glenn, I believe, the guy for the Cowboys.
Yeah.
Right.
I think it's Glenn,
That's
right?
right?
The receiver.
Yeah.
He was killed in a road accident. So it's a shame, but at the same time, remember, you got 90 guys, and usually in those 90 guys, you got maybe 20% that are really 100% with you and 100% with all the rules. You probably have another 20% that are right on the edge, down the bottom, and then everybody else is in the middle. You got to hope that those guys down the bottom move up into that middle section before it's through.
Hey, Dave. When you were with the Cowboys and Troy Aikman was just on the verge of becoming among the elite throwers in the game, how did you guys treat that? Was it more along the lines of let's just be consistent in how we prepare him, or do you think he knew and it was his own work, both on the field and off the field, away from you guys, helped him progress?
Yeah, I think, we felt pretty good about the guys that we had on the coaching staff, Matt, and I think that's a big part of it because, development is really important, even with the really good guys. Otherwise they wouldn't have coaches. They just throw some guys out there and let them play ball. So to me, with Aikman, Aikman had to kind of get used to the speed of the game and all those kind of things. I don't think that Aikman really hit his stride until Norv Turner got there. When Norv Turner got there, he had just that, hopefully what they've got over at Jacksonville with Doug Peterson and McCoy and Press Taylor. I think they have a really good relationship with Trevor. That's what Norv Turner had with Aikman. And I think Aikman made an awful lot of progress when Norv got there. But we knew he was going to be good. We didn't know how good he was going to be. There was a little bit of a competition there with Steve Walsh. And Jimmy got him mad, by saying that he thought Walsh might be the better player. And I think that kind of jumped up his ability to get himself ready as well.
Oh,
Did you – hang on, Joe, real quick. I'm sorry. Did you know Troy really well. Do you think Troy knew he was going to be really good? And we all think Trevor's going to be really good. Do you think Trevor knows he's going to be really good?
Absolutely. I think the really good ones know that. And I think the one thing about Aikman was, his leadership quality. I'll be honest with you. I believe Aikman's leadership quality and his ability to compete was better than his natural talent. And I think Trevor has that ability plus has the natural talent. So to me, I think the upside of Trevor is probably better than Troy's, to be honest with you.
And go back to your story, and we'll probably mention this probably often, but Press Taylor, your conversation with him during one of the mini camps or OTAs was that, it's all about Trevor now. So then take the other side of that to what Matt was just saying and what you were talking about with Troy, getting a little fuel from, wait a minute, you think Steve Walsh is better than me? That type of stuff. So Trevor probably says, give me a little more. Give me a little more. Is that what you think's happening?
Absolutely. I think Trevor right now has such a good feel, and listening to Coach Press Taylor, he has a really good feel of what they want to have accomplished over there. He's got a lot of confidence because he really played down the stretch like a top 5 quarterback. And I think he feels right now that he knows enough that he can now guide other people around him. When you first get in there, you're worried about yourself. The quarterback, I've got to do this, I've got to do that. And I think that hurt him a little bit early in the season because he was trying to do too much. Now I think he has a feel for what the guys can do around him. He understands the scheme better. I think he has a great relationship with the coaches. I think he's just asking, give me whatever you think I need because I can handle it and I have the confidence to get it done.
And by the way, we'll talk about this coming up in a second, but there's another hungry guy out there and his name's Calvin Ridley. And so both of those guys are probably saying, feed me now. I want it. Give me. All right, so we'll keep the conversation going with that. Leaderboard updates over at Royal Liverpool coming up. Plenty more before we are done. And then the Franchise Show will wrap up SEC Media Days coming up in, about 45 minutes.
The First Coast Honda Dealer Studios on 1010XL. Remember the days of Baselli, Brunell, Jimmy, and Keenan?
Mark Brunell with a masterful run.
Jaguars pride forever. 1010XL.
Joe C. for the Preferred Group, Preferred Roofing, Preferred Builders. We're talking about a lot of people that have been in this community for a long, long time. They know what they do. They do it well. They make sure that the price that they're putting down as far as the work that they're going to do, that they're going to be able to deliver on price and quality. And so local is big, especially when you're talking about construction, roofing, big purchases. You don't want a joint that may not be around a few months from now. You never know. Make sure you go with a tried and true local company. PreferredRoofingJacks.com, PreferredBuildersJacks.com. Tell them Joe C. sent you.
Hey, Jacksonville, I'm sure by now you've seen our bright green GFL trucks and containers throughout the greater Jacksonville area. We are an industry leader in solid waste and would love the opportunity to earn your business. We are committed to customer service, reliability, and have unwavering focus on safety. Whether commercial or construction, let us haul your waste away. Call 904-760-5880 to get a quote today. GFL, green for life.
Did you know that all graduates of Local 234's apprenticeship program are licensed journeymen? That means all plumbers, pipe fitters, welders, and HVAC techs will have hundreds of hours of experience and have passed the Jacksonville City Licensed Journeyman exam. They're the best trained and safest skilled tradespeople in the industry. Don't leave yourself exposed to inadequate workmanship or even danger. Always hire a licensed journeyman. Local 234. Make the right connection. Equal opportunity employer.
Run to the Jacksonville Sharks for their fight against West Texas this Saturday, July 22nd, 7 o'clock, Bi-Star Arena. With tickets as low as $15, you can't find this kind of affordable fun just anywhere. It's Military Appreciation Night. Stay postgame for the auction and win a military Sharks jersey. All veterans and their families. Buy one ticket, get one free. Shark Tank this Saturday, July 22nd, 7 o'clock at the Bi-Star Veterans Memorial Arena. Call 904-621-0700 or visit jacksharks.com. And veterans, BOGO tickets. Fins up.
If your lawn is not as green as you'd like, it's time to go orange by calling Orange Environmental Services, Jacksonville's highest quality pest control for over 45 years. Frank Frangie here. I've trusted Orange Environmental to take care of our home's pest control needs for years. With the Orange Shield Protection Plan for your home or office, you can relax knowing Orange Environmental will handle pest control, termite control, and mosquito control. Orange Environmental has been giving Northeast Florida peace of mind from bug problems since 1972. Call them today at 272-3284.
Pads will pop, and the practice field will rock. Get daily training camp coverage brought to you by Kingfish Pest Control and Roland Leash Plumbing.
That's it.
On 1010XL.
Higgin here. Guess what July is? National Carpet Cleaning Month. For home carpet cleaning, Zero Res offering $49 per room. And for businesses, they're offering 20% off in July. Zero Res, man. Spell it forwards or backwards. It's the right way to clean.
Zero Res.
Are you drowning in credit card debt? Want to get cash out of your home's equity? Loan Pronto can now do it in less than a week. Hey, it's Prosser here, and that's right. Loan Pronto's Equity Express line of credit just got even faster. You can get $50,000, $100,000, or even $200,000 in as little as 5 days. And you don't even have to touch your primary mortgage, so you can keep that 3% rate intact. Just get the money you need and pay off all those credit cards or get that home improvement project started. With this revolutionary program, you can access up to 90% of your home's value, and in most cases, there's no appraisal. Stop paying insane interest rates to the credit card companies and get tens or even hundreds of thousands in cash in as little as 5 days. Call Loan Pronto now for the even faster Equity Express line. 904-999-1508. LoanPronto.com or 904-999-1508. That's 904-999-1508. Equal housing lender, NMLS 1661781, subject to lender approval.
Hey, so where do we tee off? Tee it high and let it fly.
He's got a beautiful backswing.
Oh, he got all of that one.
Tour news, local updates, and the latest gear. Cut a few strokes off your game Saturday mornings at 10 with the Edwin Watts Golf Hour on 1010XL.
Find your why in your next career move at the First Coast YMCA. Everyone can get involved and make a difference in your community at the Y. And if you'd like to turn your passion into a fulfilling career, the Y is an equal opportunity employer and is now hiring youth program leaders, lifeguards, swim instructors, and more. Plus, Y staff enjoy benefits including free YMCA membership and free childcare while you work. Find your passion, find your why in a career at fcymca.org.
If you're a Jaguars fan who's always on the move, we've got the perfect ticket for you with our Bundle at the Bank. You can purchase tickets to 3 or more games, starting at just $58 per game. Whether you're working around a work schedule or excited to share the hometown team with out-of-town family, you get the flexibility you want for your time at Everbank this fall. Visit jaguars.com/tickets or call 904-633-2000 to get your bundle at the bank.
1010XL is presented by Farah and Farah, the official personal injury law firm of the Jaguars, protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville, Gators, Bulldogs, and every SEC team. All-weather contractors, SEC Media Days, presented by South State Bank. This segment is brought to you by High School 912, Ackerman Urology and Cancer Center, and Speckelmeyer Insurance on 1010XL.
Having fun up there in Nashville. A lot of work, good work being done for all of our SEC and college football fans, for that matter, between XL Primetime and the Frangie Show. And they will be wrapping it up with the Frangie Show a little bit later on, and then Hacker After Dark to follow. So, Coach, let's give them one more seg of Jaguar talk as we get ready for training camp, and then we'll close out our stuff on the SEC front. But we mentioned how hungry Trevor is, how Matt described it, and then Calvin Ridley. Because I got to believe both of those guys are knocking on Press Taylor's door saying, let me see that playbook. How can I be more involved?
No question about it. And I think, Ridley especially, because, he's been out. He's got something to prove. These players read what's said in the media. You can say whatever you want. They say they don't, but they do.
Somebody tells them at least, right?
And there's been a number of things out there saying that, well, we don't know what Ridley's going to do. So from a competitive standpoint, it's a lot, there that he's got something to prove. And he's come out and said that he thinks he can be a 1,400-yard receiver. Well, he's going to have an opportunity to show that. And, he's going to be chomping at the bit because they've gone slowly with him, and they'll probably go slowly with him again early. Not mentally, but physically what they're doing with him to make sure he's 100% when they hit that opener against the Colts.
So, Dave, I don't think I've asked you this, and I know we've talked about it as a show on 1010XL, but with Evan Ingram, with the signing of Evan Ingram, there's a narrative out there that, well, there's only so many balls and some of these catches have to go. I don't think Evan Ingram's going to decrease. I think he became, by the end of last season, he was clearly the guy Trevor went to on key third down throws. Clearly the guy when they had to have a first down, that's where he went. I don't see that stopping, right? I mean, once you develop that kind of chemistry, that still is going to stick, right?
No question about it. I mean, I think, the general opinion of most offensive coaches is that the tight end is that security blanket if you've got a good one. And the thing that separates Ingram from a lot of the other guys is the fact that his run after catch is so important. The guy in the stretch and even in the playoffs, his run after catch was unbelievable. And so, that's going to stay the same. I think the one thing that you've got with this football team, the way they finished last year, was there's not a lot of jealousy going to go on over there. They just want to win. And I think with Ingram, he'll be the security blanket. And not only is a security blanket, he isn't a 5-yard, 10-yard catch guy. He's a 20-yard catch guy when he catches it 5 or 10 yards.
Yeah, I agree.
And I'm glad you brought up because we haven't gotten a chance to ask Coach Campo about Evan Ingram getting that 3-year deal, which I think last week, Coach, correct me if I'm wrong, you said you assumed he'd be playing on the franchise tag. What do you think happened in these final days and hours?
Well, I think that's been ongoing, Mia, to be honest with you. I think, again, you hear me stress all the time that whatever we say is all conjecture because you don't really know what's going on over there. But they made it very clear that they wanted him here. I just felt that it got so close that, here, if you look at it from the outside, you're saying, okay, this guy came here on a prove-it situation, and he proved it. But there's still that thing about him only being a one-year guy. And so I thought maybe it got so close that maybe they would wait to see one more year and then go from there. And with the tight end money going down a little bit, I thought he might want to wait. But I'm glad they did it. I'll tell you, it's a great deal for him because he got good money, and it's a great deal for the Jaguars because they got themselves a heck of a player. And the interesting thing is going to be for me when we go to training camp, I want to see Evan Ingram over there in pre-practice catching the ball from the quarterbacks like he did last year, because that will prove to me that he's got what it takes to be great.
Yeah, just keep working on what got him to this point. Doesn't mean you can stop working on that.
Absolutely.
And I feel like if you're talking about that guy, how hungry is Christian Kirk as part of this conversation? Because you got Evan getting paid. Kirk definitely got all of his money last year, but now you got Calvin walking in saying, I'm going to need to be fed. So does Christian Kirk have to hit another level or drive for this season?
Well, I think they're all trying to get to the next level, and that's win the Super Bowl, and they want to be an active part in all that. I just think this group is very unselfish, and I really think that, there's talent there, and hopefully Trevor, the more he grasps everything that's going on, he's going to use everybody. It won't just be one guy. They're going to have some talent there with Ridley going vertical, and I think Kirk will even be better now that he doesn't have to worry too much about being outside. I think he's an inside guy, and I think he'll be very effective in there.
All right, Coach, let's pivot to something a little bit different. Currently in Minnesota, not just Jordan Addison going 140 miles per hour in a 55. Yes, folks, the number in the police report is officially out, and that is what the Vikings first rounder was doing on a street in Minnesota. In addition to that going on in the state of Minnesota, NFL owners are currently meeting for a special meeting to approve the Commander's sale. Your former employer, your former boss, a guy by the name of Jerry Jones, just came up the escalator and said, I think it's going to be a great day for the NFL. Emotions watching all this unfold, and just from your perspective, having observed other sales before, what exactly is going on right now in Bloomington, Minnesota?
Well, I think there was really too much controversy with Dan Snyder. Obviously it was one thing after another. You've got John Gruden now suing the NFL because of things that were leaked out during blaming it on the commissioner. And there's all kinds of things going on there. I think it's a great day from the standpoint that if they feel comfortable with this guy, Josh, what's his last name?
Harris.
Josh Harris. If they feel comfortable with him, it's a great day, because I think that, the league likes the less negative publicity the league gets, the better they like it. And so I think this is going to be a positive thing. I think Dan, unfortunately, there's a lot of people who don't feel like he really treated the organization the way it should be treated. Yeah. And so, to me, it's a good day.
Dave, I want to go back to the offense real quick, because I want to look at it from the defensive side of the ball. We've spent all offseason talking about, ad nauseum, talking about where's the pressure going to come from the edge? What's going to happen in the secondary? Are they going to be a team that can cover in man? But I look at this, and I want to get your thoughts on this. If you're scoring more points, if your offense takes the next level because of Calvin Ridley, because of his second year with Trevor Lawrence and Evan Ingram and Zay Jones, because they all feel comfortable, do you get to the point where your margin for error is a little bit increased on defense, whereas last year there's zero margin for error? The more you score points, the more margin of error you get for the defense, which will help the defense get better. Is that right?
Well, it works hand in hand, Matt. We always felt that we had an advantage when I was in Dallas, and really the same here in Jacksonville, that the offense was explosive enough and ability to hold on to the football. The less the defense has to be on the field, the better. And I think that when we're talking about this offense here, not all of it is going to be home runs. I think this offense is going to be one that can control the football, and I think controlling the football is the key, because the less snaps the defense takes, the better off. This is an offensive league, and no matter how good you are defensively, this team's going to be able to exploit you in certain areas. So to me, I'm looking at the better the offense is, the better the defense is going to be, and that's, without any additions. Now, do I think there should be an addition? Absolutely. I think they should bring in a veteran pass rusher. That's just, I think everybody has that feeling. Mm-hmm. But if they don't...
But because...
Go ahead.
I'm sorry, Dave. I guess my point is, but because they're scoring more points, there's less pressure on those guys, even subtly in the back of their minds of, oh, my God, I got to get a stop. I got to get stopped because we don't know what's going on the other side of the ball, right?
Yeah, I think that's true. I think that
you play a little looser.
Yeah, I mean, really, to be honest with you, the defense, it doesn't have to be a shutdown defense to win in this league.
Right.
It has to be a defense that can make plays when the opportunities are there, and there is less pressure, obviously, if there's more points scored.
Yeah.
You know, if you go score 30 points a game, you ought to win a bunch of games, regardless of how your defense is playing.
Yeah, score around 4 touches, give up less than 3 touches.
There you go.
That's it right there.
There
All
you
right,
go.
listen, we're going to finish out our show talking SEC, but, Coach, I want to see if this works, okay? Because you see what you have up there? You got orange, okay, for the Gators. Look at that.
Oh,
See
look
that?
at this.
See that teal right there?
I haven't even seen this officially yet, so we're
look
enjoying
at that.
watching this on
Strobes
the
going
live
on in
stream.
here.
Watch.
Once I start
Look
working
at
this
this. You
bad
can do
boy
different
and get it all
colors.
figured out.
What are you doing there, Joe? Is that magic?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
I need a little more magic.
I don't see anything changing.
I got
I
news.
only got one.
We saw the red dim a little bit.
I got news for you. He doesn't have it all
with you, Joe.
figured
Please
out
don't break
yet.
it
I
until
can promise you
don't
that.
break it before we get back. Come on
Okay,
now.
I see a different shade of red now.
Yeah. All right. I'm trying here.
Or a whiter shade of pale, JJ.
All right,
Oh.
Coach. Enjoyable. I'm giving you this. Okay, you get to work on that.
Well,
while we get ready.
Here's the thing that all of you guys don't need the strobe to look good in this show. I can tell you. I have a good face
Hey.
for radio. The YouTube kind of got me a little bit here.
There's a little orange
Hey,
and
Coach.
blue right there.
Hey,
There's a
Coach,
little
one last
orange and
thing.
blue. All right.
One last thing for you, Coach. Hey, Coach, one last thing for you. They officially released the length of the opening statement of all 14 head coaches here at SEC Media Days. The longest opening statement was Kirby Smart, 14 minutes and 38 seconds. The shortest was Hugh Freeze at 4 minutes and 12 seconds. I know you never had to go to an SEC Media Days and make an opening statement like that, but as a coach, what's your MO when it comes to these sort of pressers like that?
Well, I think this is exciting. You know, it's the start of everything. I think that, there's a lot of BS that's thrown out there. I can promise you that. And I think the one that was right in the middle was Brian Kelly. He was probably about.
He was 4.
He was probably about.
He was the second
Mostly
shortest.
BS.
He was
Your
about
buddy.
12 minutes and 10 seconds.
Yeah. Well, this
No,
much.
he
How
went
much
4:18.
BS was that?
Yeah. There was a lot of BS, right, Coach? Right?
Absolutely.
Yeah, this much I know. The reason why Kirby's was the longest is so it would be less questions.
The
That's what
shortest,
it was.
yes.
Yeah, that's
of
exactly
course.
what that is. All right, we'll wrap up our SEC thoughts. Get ready for the Francis Show coming up next. Coach, thanks, buddy.
You got it. Have
It's
a great day, guys.
XL Primetime.
Buckle up. You're in the First Coast Honda Dealer Studios with XL Primetime on 1010XL. Find your new Honda at your 8 local Honda dealers. This Open Championship update on 1010XL is brought to you by Mr. Sparky of the First Coast and MyBookie.
Westwood One Sports presents this special report on the 151st British Open, sponsored by Prevagen. Some good news if you were hoping Jordan Spieth could turn around his season. 4 missed cuts in the last 6 events, but Spieth starts his week at Royal Liverpool with a 2 under 69. He's 3 off the lead.
I was very pleased with the round. I felt like my game's been in a really good place. I felt like the results haven't necessarily been showing it, but came in not putting a whole lot of pressure on myself, just knowing that if I'm stepping up and trusting what I've been doing, it's been really good performance the last couple days, which is always nice to draw off of.
A trio of players at the top of the leaderboard: Tommy Fleetwood, amateur Christo Lamprecht, and Emiliano Grillo, who drained a 51-foot putt for birdie at 18. Antoine Rosner, Adrian Ogeti, and Brian Harmon all at 4 under, 1 back. Max Homa 3 under through 14. That's 2 off the lead. Rory McIlroy 1 over through 14. I'm Ted Emmerich, Westwood One Sports.
Robert is a real Prevagen user and content contributor.
I am Robert Strickler. My wife Joyce and I have been married for 53 years. Certainly one of the really important things in my life are our children and our grandchildren. I am essentially a writer. I've been involved in communications in the media. I've been an avid fly fisherman for at least 40 or more years. I've been taking Prevagen for at least 8 years. For me, the greatest benefit over the years has been that Prevagen seems to help me recall things and also think more clearly, have a crisper ability to remember and think through things. And I enthusiastically recommend Prevagen. It has helped me an awful lot.
Prevagen, healthier brain, better life. Prevagen is available in stores everywhere. Based on a clinical study of subgroups of individuals who were cognitively normal or mildly impaired, this product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
The IRS has just received $80 billion in funding to hire additional agents for aggressive collections enforcement. If you owe the IRS, now is the time to take action before the IRS comes after you or your business. There's no time to waste. Call J. David Tax Law, a firm right here in Jacksonville, for a no-cost consultation at 904-507-4777. That's 904-507-4777. Or visit jdavidtaxlaw.com. Peace of mind is only a click or phone call away.
It's the Big One sales event going on now at Arlington Toyota Pre-Owned. Mia here, and buy a pre-owned 2019 Toyota Corolla for just $1,000 down and $288 per month. Or you choose a pre-owned 2020 Camry, RAV4, or Tacoma for just $1,000 down and $388 per month. Arlington Pre-Owned has over 400 used cars in stock and more than 100 vehicles under $18K. You even get 30 days to love your pre-owned purchase or exchange it for one that you do. Shop the Big One sales event, 10939 Atlantic Boulevard and arlingtontoyota.com.
Hi, I'm Sean Monahan from Monahan Jewelers in Atlantic Beach. We're your local family jeweler for 46 years in Jacksonville with a huge selection of diamonds, gemstones, and pre-owned Rolex watches. And Monahan Jewelers is your store for expert jewelry repair turned around in 1 or 2 days. Most jewelry stores take 2 weeks or more, and many stores send your jewelry somewhere else for repair. At Monahan Jewelers, our jewelry repair is done in-house by expert craftsmen, and Monahans can turn around most repairs in a day or two. So bring your jewelry repair to Monahan Jewelers in Atlantic Beach.
Join the Transportation Club of Jacksonville for a great cause at the CSP 23 Charity Golf Tournament. Hosted by local professional A.J. Crouch, it benefits the Monique Burr Foundation for Children. Register at tcjacks.com. Live scoring by Leaderboard King.
Sports injuries are a common issue for both adults and children. Dr. George Barry here, and as a specialist in orthopedic care, the team at Barry Orthopedics and Sports Medicine here in Jacksonville provides comprehensive diagnosis and treatment of all types of sports injuries. With additional training in sports medicine and more than 30 years of experience, the team is available to care for your entire family and help you have fun and stay active. Visit us today at BarryOrthopedics.com.
And don't forget to check out Breaking Bones Sunday morning, 7:30 on 1010XL.
Florida State, Clemson, and Miami. All right. It's the ACC kickoff in Charlotte, so you can get to know your favorite coaches and players. Brought to you by the Plumbers and Pipe Fitters Local Union 234 and Performance Painting on 1010XL.
Whether it's a large commercial project or a multifamily property, trust All Pro Roofing for exceptional craftsmanship and unparalleled customer service. We use only the finest materials, ensuring durability and long-lasting results. Plus, All Pro Roofing now has a full siding and windows division. That's right, All Pro Roofing is not just about roofs anymore. All Pro Roofing, now your trusted partner for commercial roofing, multifamily projects, exterior siding, and windows. AllProRoofingLLC.com.
License number CCC 1327056.
CDC 060138.
Hey Jacksonville, we need your help. It may be summer, but school is just around the corner. Hundreds of local homeless, at-risk, and low-income students need school supplies. One-to-One Financial, Jacksonville's hometown credit union, is collecting school supplies through July 30th, so our most vulnerable kids can start the school year right. Be a good person and help us fill 350 backpacks this summer. Bring donations to your nearest One-to-One Financial branch. Learn more and find the closest branch at one-to-one-fcu.org. And don't forget, the school supply tax holiday is the last week of July. Thanks, Jacksonville.
There's a new butcher in town. We're talking a vacuum marinating, sausage grinding, take and bake siding, value pricing, full service butcher. And our name is Southern Steer.
Now open in Ortega. For tasty tips and juicy breasts, choose Southern Steer Butcher.
Right now, you may be running a little late, or feeling stressed, or overwhelmed, and you may be going a bit over the speed limit. So to help you relax, exhale. Ease up on the gas. You'll get there when you get there. Take a moment to just chill. This little break is brought to you by Target Zero and the Florida Department of Transportation.
It's storm season, and JEA is committed to keeping you informed.
In the event of a storm, we'll text and email you about the status of your services. We use Facebook and Twitter to post real-time updates. Our live outage map on JEA.com lets you track restoration progress. And as crews work to restore services, our storm outreach team will be in local neighborhoods to answer your questions. Because as your community-owned utility, JEA is here to keep you safe and connected. Your community, your utility.
Mark Watson for Hardball Creative, letting you know that Hardball has cooler promotions, but some people call them ice chests. Either way, check out the items you can put your company logo on at hardballcreative.com.
Hardball Creative. Hardball does it all. 1010XL is presented by Farah and Farah, the official personal injury law firm of the Jaguars, protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Kicking off another college football season. ACC kickoff in Charlotte. Brought to you by the Plumbers and Pipefitters Local Union 234 on 1010XL.
One more segment to go here on XL Primetime, live from the beautiful Grand Hyatt Hotel in Nashville, Tennessee. Mia O'Brien, Matt Hayes, Joe C. holding down the fort with JJ back at 1010XL World Headquarters as we get ready to hand it off to the Frangie Show and put a bow on the week that was SEC Media Days 2023. Joe C., yes.
I now have the orange and blue lights, if you can see them
on
YouTube.
Okay.
It took me a second.
No, just looks red to me.
It does look red.
It does look
It
purple.
looks purple to me.
All right,
yeah,
JJ.
Orange and blue
combined.
mixed is purple. So.
Yeah.
Right.
Very true. But JJ, slide over and at least look at it. Just confirm that it's
It looks purple.
It is orange, like, but it looks red. That light orange is red. Sort of like if you look at like the Gator band, from the crowd, the Gator band almost looks red and green, or red and blue. Which, by the way, Matt said earlier this week that the Gators have the worst band in the
Last
SEC.
week I said that.
What the H are you?
I knew Joe would
Joe
get
missed
offended.
that.
I knew Joe would be offended by
Where do you get off with that? Oh my
By the way,
gosh!
you look really lonely there, JoJo.
I am lonely.
Yeah, I'm
I'm waving to
camera
JJ.
closer.
The funny part.
What do you mean? Where do I get off of that? Don't sit there and tell me you think that's a good
Okay,
thing.
now
Just
listen.
stop
In the
it.
state of
Stop
Florida,
it.
they only take a backseat to one other band. Okay, that is
Oh,
it.
that's not true. That's just
and
not
that is
true.
the Florida A&M marching
not
band.
true.
Not
That's
wrong.
They're
only-
not even.
All right, they take
they're
a
not
backseat
close to
Oh, there we
Florida
go.
State.
We're
And
moving the
Florida.
iPad.
They're not close to UCF. They're not. Don't even say that.
Dude, let me tell you something. They only have to teach one song up in Tallahassee, and it's the chant, okay? And that's it. And listen, Pride of the
Yeah, because
Sunshine.
your old school definitely doesn't do. Dun, dun,
It's the best. It is
all
the best.
game long.
It is the best. The Pride of the Sunshine.
I will say this as a Hurricane fan, I'll
God,
admit our band is pretty trash.
Yeah, Miami.
It's close, dude. You and Florida are close.
Listen, we
Very
need a little
close.
name, image, and likeness in our band. All right, let's get to that Lane Kiffin quote.
Yeah. So Lane Kiffin, among the coaches that spoke here on day 3, himself, the man, the myth, the legend himself, Shane Beamer and Josh Heupel. But Lane was asked with regards to Nick Saban and could he rise again? What is the state of his mentor and his mentor's program in Tuscaloosa?
That's why we have Feinbaum, so he can motivate him every other year and say, oh, his dynasty's over, and this is the end of Saban, and then we're like, hey, thanks a lot for pissing him off. And Paul's always wrong on this subject, so, and he just did it again the other day. If he doesn't make the playoffs, he's not any good as a coach. So thanks, Paul.
That's just beautiful. That's good. That's good Lane Kiffin right there, entertaining us, which is what we would expect. Even setting aside time to do that, along with his Paul Mitchell salon training that he went through in the offseason. Did you see how styled he was today?
Did you also see there was a local TV reporter that tried to tell him that he looks like him? Again, this is what Matt.
Yeah, that was away from the. So it was away from the
Yeah.
big stage. He went to one of the breakout rooms.
It's a little
and there
scary
was
if somebody
local,
said that to Lane.
Well, JoJo. So there's a local TV guy, all right, who's trying to get his 5 minutes of fame.
Yep.
Just some guy that says, "I've been told I look like you." He looks
Nothing
like
like
him,
Lane
okay?
Kiffin.
Nothing. But he's trying to get his moment of fame. And Kiffin, to his credit, was just classic. And that's actually what I'm writing about today at Saturday Down South. That Kiffin is basically Spurrier without the championships.
Mm-hmm.
He's phenomenal, and no one's watching him.
Yeah.
This is a slow day. No one's here. The room was half full, the big room. No one's following him.
That's crazy.
He's asked not to go on the radio show, though. Doesn't want to do it. I've asked him.
Mm-hmm.
He's literally Spurrier. If he were a guy that had won a championship, he would be the entire talk of the week. The stuff he's doing today. So the guy says, I've been told I look like you. You know, he said, I showed my mother this picture, and she said, "Wow, is that you?" And he said, "No." I said, "It's Lane Kiffin." And everybody starts, people in this breakout room start laughing. He looks at the guy and he goes, "You look like me." And he goes, "Yeah, that's what I've been told." And he goes, "What's your mom's name?" And the place went crazy, okay? But then he's thinking, you're thinking blah, blah, blah. And then, it calms down and he goes, "I'm going to have to call my dad and see what's going on here." That's hilarious. Beautiful. Absolutely hilarious.
That's what you
and
want.
it just, I mean, he's become,
and
first off, his team, he's won 18 games in the last year, right? I think that's been kind of lost.
Without a marquee roster.
They probably
either.
should have won 2 more last year, back-to-back 10-win seasons.
Yeah,
but
10-win seasons.
He's very close. He's very close to turning it there right now, and they've got a ton of NIL money. He's right now fighting what all the teams not named, Georgia, Alabama, LSU, Florida, the main 4 or 5 schools, they're all fighting the idea of the name because they all are similar with money.
Mm-hmm.
But at the end of the day, it's now, okay, where do you want to go? What kind of coach do you want? What kind of tradition? What kind of ability to win? All of that. They're all fighting that.
All right.
So he's got a chance to look. The playoffs going to 12. We keep talking about this, Joe. The playoff goes to 12 in 2024. That's going. You guys always complain, Joe. You and Leon and JJ. It's always the same 6 to 8 teams. When the playoff goes to 12, the expanding field is going to go to like 40 teams to have a shot.
Also, I never complained
That's why
about
it's going to be
that.
so much better.
And
yes, you did.
No.
No. All right, listen.
The 4 teams in the playoffs.
No, he complained about
He
complained about the length of football games.
No, you complained that it was always Georgia, always Alabama,
No
Ohio
way.
State. Yeah,
No
you
way.
did.
I'm an elitist.
You
I'm
did.
fine with that. I'm fine with the 14 playoff the way it is. Always been that
I
way.
like the NIL bringing new teams into the conversation. That part I like.
Yeah,
All right, so
So anyway, I truly believe that, and I don't think anyone can disagree, that Ole Miss will be one of those 40 teams where if they get hot and they have a good season,
have a good
they
quarterback.
can get in.
All right, we will keep
Have a
this
good quarterback,
conversation.
yes.
They have 2 good quarterbacks right now.
Yeah,
so
we will
that's
keep
the
this
problem.
conversation going tomorrow. Meet us at Beach and Peach. All right, we'll be right there at the famous Quick Lube, Beach and Peach. So come on by, talk some college ball with us. We are out. We're going to say hello to the Francis Show coming up next.
Cruising with XL Primetime in the First Coast Honda Dealer Studios on 1010XL.
It's Cliff Averill one more time.
I'm Cliff Averill of the Seattle Seahawks and Clay High School on Jacksonville Sports Radio, 1010XL.
Cliff Averill has been a machine tonight.
The Jacksonville Eye Center's vision is all about your vision. Vision correction for all ages. From an early age to your elder years, being able to see clearly is just a phone call away. Call 355-5555 and say hello to Dr. Robert Snipper. With the latest technology and advancements in vision care, the Jack's Eye Center can help you from top-line care, glasses, contacts, to expert LASIK procedures and cataract surgery. See what you've been missing at the Jacksonville Eye Center.
Did you know the new 2023 Honda Accord Hybrid has an onboard system that charges the battery so you never have to plug it in? When you think Honda, you think quality, value, safety. Now think hybrid. Visit your local Honda dealer and experience the car of tomorrow today.
Did you know that weight loss surgery is the most effective solution for obesity, according to the National Institutes of Health? If you've tried everything and you're still struggling with weight loss, a procedure at Baptist Health could be your solution. Our personalized program is a center of excellence with a full team to support you every step of the way. Is it time to reclaim your health? To see if you qualify, call 904-202-SLIM or visit BaptistBariatrics.com.
There's certain places if you go in, they got what you're looking for, like Gate Convenience Stores and Cold Modelo's. That's the ticket. Or get on the craft side of things with something from Bold City or Sweetwater. Hit the cooler at Gate, full of choices and all of them good.
This Date in Sports History is brought to you by Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
On July 20th, 1986, British Open men's golf, Greg Norman wins his first major championship at even par, 5 strokes clear of Gordon J. Brand.
Summer Nights, presented by 1-to-1 Financial, is an evening affair benefiting Boys and Girls Clubs of Northeast Florida, Saturday, August 26th. Enjoy an evening at the beautiful Glass Factory as you sip premium cocktails, dance the night away with live swing music from Bold City Classics, taste delicious dishes from local restaurants, and win exciting auction packages. For details and tickets, go to tinyurl.com/2023 Summer Nights.
For the past 5 years in Jacksonville, J-Dog Junk Removal has been on a mission to put veterans back to work. They have successfully helped over 40 veterans find meaningful employment, and they're not stopping there. Their goal is to reach an astounding 75 veterans employed by the year 2025, all in our local community. J-Dog Junk Removal, veteran-owned, veteran-operated.
Exciting news from Woody's Barbecue. Backed by overwhelming demand, Woody's presents their all-you-can-eat chicken special every Sunday with all the trimmings, just $12.49.
At Woody's Barbecue, it's what we do. Let's eat.
This is Keith Catlin for Catlin Truck Accessories, and we are so blessed to be in business for over 100 years. Over 100 years of the best product and customer service means you can count on Catlin. From roll-and lock bed covers to Lear toppers, Cam Locker toolboxes, Catlin Truck Accessories has you covered when it comes to your truck or van. We do those too. Got a fleet of vehicles? We can outfit them all.
Who can you count on? Count on Catlin.
One name, one location, 100 years. You can count on Catlin.
Clearwater. John, I can't even mow my side yard. It's so soggy. Man, my builder sucks.
Brent, calm down. This is a common problem in neighborhoods where houses are built too close together. You need gutters and a properly installed French drain that will soak up subsurface water. We can completely dry it up.
So I can take my builder off my speed dial now, huh?
Yeah, we got you, buddy. Let that builder bitterness go.
Clearwater irrigation and drainage too.
What's the major difference between a crocodile and an alligator? The answer next.
Lightning storms and hurricane winds can ruin recent home improvements. Let Southern Oak Insurance review your policy today. Visit us online at southernoakins.com.
Our family protecting yours. Southern Oak Insurance.
While an alligator will see you later, a crocodile will see you after a while.
Southern Oak Insurance. Our family protecting yours.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, the official personal injury law firm of the Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Now, the 2-minute drill. Brought to you by Tire Outlet. Keeping 1010XL rolling with wholesale prices and premium service. Tire Outlet, Jacksonville's largest locally owned automotive repair shop.
All right, let's welcome in the Frangie Show, day 4 of the menagerie that is SEC Media Days. Frank Frangie, 1010XL. We're literally just all over the map here.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts?
It's been a great week. I mean, it's been a lot of stuff. It's been a great week. Today it was interesting. Kiffin is always interesting, isn't he? Hearing
one
him
of the most fascinating men in all of college football.
He really is.
And the NFL and sports in general.
Yeah, and I totally agree. And hopefully Josh Heupel, Matt will be about to join us. We hope to have Josh Heupel, the Tennessee coach, today. We hope to have Joe Milton, the Tennessee quarterback. We're hoping they're scheduled to come by. We thought we'd get Shane Beamer, who joined you and I last year. He didn't want to do it this year. I guess he got out of town.
He got out quick, which is what typically happens in the last day.
That's right.
The coaches get
he was the first day last year.
That's right. Good point.
Yeah, and of course we thought we'd have an opportunity with Spencer Rattler as well. But Frank, we talked about this all last week. The sheer lack of quarterbacks and star quality here. I mean, he's a rock star just because of name recognition in a conference he's only played in for 1 year.
And he's been an up and down guy. Mia. He was so good for a while at Oklahoma. Lost his job to Caleb Williams because it was Caleb Williams. Has been up and down at South Carolina. But you're right, and you guys have both heard me say this. My gripe. Every team should be mandated to bring a quarterback. If you haven't decided on who your starter is, then pick one guy to bring. But I think every team should be mandated that every team brings a quarterback. So only 5 came. Now we had most of them on, but it's just I think every team should be. You're right about that. Spencer Rattler, you think the guy that would want to make his rounds. To your point,
yeah, he did. That's the crazy part, though, because he was trying to come over here. I will tell you that, folks. He was trying, but because he's in such demand, everybody wants to talk to him, and especially when one of the other South Carolina players they brought was the kicker. With all due respect to kickers, we love kickers, but interesting choice by Shane Beamer and friends.
But today on the program, we'll have a lot of fun stuff. We're certainly going to hear, hopefully, from Josh Heupel and Joe Milton, the last two guys left here, really. So hopefully they'll come by if they get a chance. I want you to hear the comments of Nick Saban. We were so busy this week, we didn't get to some of those comments. I want you to hear those, as well as those of Lane Kiffin. Matt, I think we're going to have David Cutcliffe stop by and talk a little quarterback.
Trying to get him here. He also may have left early.
Yeah, we're trying to get Cut to get over here. Everyone's trying to get. This is the last day, and everyone tries to get out of town. Jim Nagy from the Senior Bowl will join us today. Lauren and Hayes caught up with Jim, who does a terrific job here. And then the last hour of the show, I always do this on the Thursday, recap the important stuff. And for us, I think the important stuff is clearly Kirby Smart and Billy Napier. So you're going to hear those thoughts. Matt, you and I will do a little bit of a wrap on how the week's been. But it's been a fun week. Can't wait to do it one more day.
Absolutely. And, of course, you can catch all those interviews that were taped here at SEC Media Days, including Billy Napier, Kirby Smart, and the Georgia and Florida player contingents on 1010XL's YouTube channel. That's 1010XL video on YouTube, as well as on our Facebook and throughout the 1010XL social channel family. Joe C.
Oh, yo.
How we looking? How we looking back there at 1010XL headquarters? I know I'm off tomorrow and then Monday, Tuesday. I'm very intrigued to see what color the studio is when I get back Wednesday morning.
I will have it absolutely mastered by the time that happens with some training, which I will need from Richie. But I'm looking at the leaderboard right now, and the Mountaineer man who walks down the hall here, the Amoy, who tends to gamble just like JJ and I on golf, we're fretting over the idea. Koepka right now is 4 over par, I'm pretty sure.
That's
Rahm
Matt
is
Hayes'
2
guy.
over.
That's Matt Hayes' pick, by the way.
Yeah. So Koepka, I believe, is 4 over right now. Rahm is 2 over par. You definitely have some other ones, some surprise guys at the top, but it is day one.
You're forgetting my pick, who's currently
have?
tied for the lead. I have Tommy Fleetwood.
Oh yeah, well I picked Fleetwood too, so I'm happy about that.
We're sitting pretty right now.
Yeah, I'm happy about that one. But then the amateur, he came out of nowhere. The South African, I think it was South Africa.
Yeah, he's
It's
South
one day.
African.
It's one round.
He's 6'6".
Yeah,
and he shot
Oh, wow.
66.
Yeah, that's.
Hey, isn't
Think about that.
Wyndham Clark's also hovering around the top, right? I hate that, but it is what it is.
Why?
I remember we had our whole discussion about Wyndham Clark. I think he has a punchable face. It's not a bad thing. It's just he's
got
born
hate
with
for
it.
him.
So.
Which is
Yeah,
okay.
he just has a punchable face. It's
You gotta
okay.
have ones you like and ones you don't.
Zach Showalter from Wisconsin, punchable face. Zach Wilson, punchable face. It's just, you're born with it. It is what it is.
Yep, T1 right now, Emiliano Grillo, the Argentine.
Oh, okay. We like
that's
that.
good. All right, so we're out. Have fun. Safe travels back. Enjoy your time. Mia and Maddie, we will see you at Famous Quick Lube at Beach and Peach tomorrow. So hopefully everybody will be fired up for that. We will hand it off to the Franchise Show coming up next.
You're riding in the First Coast Honda Dealer Studios. XL Primetime on 1010XL. This Open Champion